This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. The NFL set to meet with Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson this week. The league's been investigating to determine whether he violated the personal conduct policy. Watson is facing 22 civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct. He's denied all allegations. Saints coach Dennis Allen said today the cryptic tweet made by former New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees, who hinted at a possible return to football, likely made in jest. The Saints, meantime, set to enter 2022 with Jameis Winston as their starting QB, and they could be among the NFC's elite this season thanks to some additions, believes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
I think the addition of Jarvis Landry puts them neck and neck with Tampa Bay. Neck and neck. This is a team that has whooped Tampa Bay in the regular season, last 4 games. The Saints are better now than they were this time last year, and the Buccaneers are worse now than they were this time last year.
Dan Orlovsky on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. NBA Celtics guard Marcus Smart questionable for Game 1 of the East Finals tomorrow against the Heat with a foot injury. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Here we go on a Monday, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau will be along in a second, but right now it's Casey Kurtz and it's Stuart Worldwide Weber. What up with you, Weber?
You know, just back in the States and ready to talk some sports here on my favorite station, ESPN 690.
You better believe it. We'll talk about your trip in a bit, I'm sure. I'm sure Brent has a lot of questions for you.
Always.
I got questions, but I'll just let Brent handle that part of the show.
Certainly.
But nonetheless, here we are on a Monday. And Weber, you said it yourself. You said the Jags are back on the field, the rookies anyway. You were out there, and you're ready to talk all about those drills that everybody's freaking out about. People love the drills, man.
They do. People love 20-second internet clips. That's
right.
That is their favorite thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's practice, and it's not even practice because it's all the rookies of the guys that were out there. I don't know, 5 or 10 are going to be on the team this year. So, you know, it is what it is. But it was kind of cool to get a first look at Trayvon Walker wearing the Jaguars uniform, making some moves on the field at TIAA Bank Field because, as you guys know, the practice facility is currently demolished and being rebuilt and get set to go for the new facility that's being built. I saw walls are going up.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That is good.
Walls are a start, all right? I remember pre-draft process, we went over there to do a little story on the construction, and at that point, elevators were going up. So that's...
Elevators go up before walls?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of where you start. You start with the elevator column. Now, the actual elevators might not have been in there, but the framework for the elevators.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And so now walls are going up at the practice facility, which means a lot of the off-season work is going to take place either inside the stadium or in the flex field. And then training camp, a good chunk of that's going to happen over across the river at Episcopal School of Jacksonville. Also your home of the Jacksonville Armada.
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
First place in the division, Jacksonville Armada.
Well done.
Only unbeaten team. Anyhow, moving
home on Saturday night, right?
Yeah, they sure will be. Big 8 o'clock game against Pensacola, I believe.
There we go.
One of the central time zone people because the time's off. 8 o'clock. Come see them. Django Stadium. Come check them out.
There you go. Well done.
Ready to fleet. Anyhow, enough of that. So the Jaguars rookies getting out there, tryout players, just an assortment of different folks showing off in front of the coaches and just doing drills.
Just a lot of drills. I said this to Brent earlier, am I in the minority that, like, I don't care?
That's fine.
Like, but why?
That's a normal reaction because it is just practice, you
right?
know, and not even
glorified practice.
It's not even practice because practice you got a lot of 11 on 11. I mean, this you have one random quarterback in EJ Perry. You know, it's not a full team. They're not doing full team stuff. This is just drills and something to talk about. And the more important thing, more so than the fact that they're out there working, is the fact that we're actually getting to kind of talk to some of these guys in person for the first time and interview them and get a sense of their personality. Later on in the show, you'll hear an interview Brent Martineau had with Buster Brown, who was Monteric Brown on draft night as his official legal name. but we've since learned Buster.
Oh, I like it. It's
Let's
a good
go by
change.
Buster.
Yeah, Buster Brown.
He was Buster at Arkansas. It's not like he came up with this a week ago.
Oh.
He's always been called Buster. His grandmother came up with that name for him. But Buster Brown, former Arkansas Razorback.
There you go. The only thing that I thought was slightly interesting about the whole rookie minicamp situation, and you kind of touched on it, but is it feel different when they're inside the stadium? Like for me, when I watched those little couple of clips and what you guys had on primetime, like I was like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
They're in the stadium.
I
It's the best
had
part, in my
that
opinion.
exact same thought of it's kind of cool. It's a different backdrop for certain than a random practice field with nothing in the background. This at least you got all the seats of TIAA Bank Field. You got the pride of the Jaguars up on the wall behind, which cool story. I mean, amongst the names in the pride, Jimmy Smith. Amongst the tryout players on the field, Jimmy Smith III.
How's he looking?
It's just like all the other guys. I mean, that's the thing. Like we can't get anything out of watching it.
Yeah.
Now the coaches, they're the ones who are going to be able to gauge the effort on each play when they go back and watch the video and the technique and all those sort of things and see how they accept coaching. That's on them. I'll let them worry about that.
So this is a hard one for you to answer because like Urban Meyer was obviously a situation where we weren't out there as much.
Correct.
But could you tell maybe at all that it was looser, if you will? Like, I feel like when we talked about the Urban Meyer stuff, it was all like the dude was yelling where to go and stuff. Like, I understand that was training camp, but was there any feel that like this is a Doug Peterson regime? Could you feel it at all?
You could see a little bit of just I hesitate to say it because at the same time during training camp, we'd see Urban Meyer working with DJ Chark or doing whatever he was doing off on the side. But, you could see Doug, trying to put his input in some of these little spots on different drills and things like that. But I feel like every coach, if you're watching at one point or another, is going to chime in with something for his players. So I don't think you can really gauge from just this alone. But I'd like to think so. I'd like to think it's a different feel.
I like it. We're just dragging out the training camp or the mini rookie whatever.
Well, we had a heck of a weekend, by the way, in all sports, all over the place.
Without a doubt. But the last one I got for you on the Jags. Were
Yes.
you impressed by Trevon Walker?
He's big. Oh, he's so big.
Like freakishly big?
He's really big. Like
after you watched it, did you think freak of nature? Like special?
It's hard to say that just because there's so many. All the NFL players are big, right? Well, he stood out a little bit. Maybe not like Calais Campbell stood out, but certainly stood out from the pack. And so that was the main impression that I got.
Yeah.
It's just seeing how big he was out there. So
that's fair.
That'll help in the game of football, from my understanding.
Yeah.
That is a useful skill to have.
Yeah. So the Jags conversation will continue more on the schedule a little bit when Brent gets here. But you mentioned it, a lot of good other things going on this weekend. What are your takeaways, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Busch getting the win.
I don't know why.
Did you not think I was going to jump straight to NASCAR?
I should have because it's you. Now, I will ask you this then. NASCAR talk leading off the show, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 6.
Sure know how to build an audience.
Yeah, we do.
Brent will be here soon.
It's summertime. Sort of. When did Kurt Busch get with Denny Hamlin and
This year.
Okay.
So this year,
because I had no idea until like he won. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, I just did my graphics for the Saturday night show. By the way, my NASCAR Cup date, Action Sports Jax Primetime. Every Saturday night we have a NASCAR dedicated segment. Feel free to watch it.
And don't leave early. It's right after the last break, right?
It's right at the end of the show. The best part.
There's stuff to do after that too.
There's a little bit.
I remember you used to fast walk.
Yeah,
I remember
a little tiny teaser right after that. Anyhow, in the graphic I put Jumpman up to something because he was wearing the Air Jordan branding
well done.
for his car this week.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about that. First time I've ever put Drake lyrics on a NASCAR graphic.
That is true. I'm sure that is.
I'm sure that's a first.
And that's the first time they've won as a team, right?
Second. So Bubba won last year at Talladega under 2311, which is the venture between Hamlin and his airness.
So then,
Michael Jordan.
why was Denny Hamlin like crying then after? Just emotional?
I think this one meant a little more than maybe Talladega. Not to say that was a fluke, but at Talladega, anybody can win. Certainly is part of it. This was a big-time sign of the strides that they've taken as a race team. Obviously, you mentioned it at the beginning of this year. They added a second car, and they did one of the smartest things you could possibly do in hiring Kurt Busch, a guy who has won in just about every single thing he has raced in over the course of his now more than 2-decade NASCAR Cup Series career. So for him to go out there and get this victory at Kansas, last race before the All-Star race, is huge for that program, just to show that they belong. They're right there with the rest of the guys, and yeah, found victory lane. So Denny Hamlin, who also finished 4th, by the way. Mm-hmm. That's the weird dichotomy of it, is the fact that, he's a racer, but he's also the team owner. So he's excited, but then he's like, I got 4th in my own car.
So, yeah, that's a good thing that you bring up. At some point, does he have to start racing for that brand? Like, when a contract runs out, do you think that'll ever happen? Or is it just
it doesn't have to. Okay. I mean, the most...
It feels weird, like, to the point you just made. He finished in 4th, but he's, like, happy the dude won, but it wasn't him, you know?
The most famous scenario like that is Dale Earnhardt never raced for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in the NASCAR Cup Series, but he owned multiple cars in it with Michael Waltrip and his son, Dale Jr., and, of course, Steve Park at one point. So, like, he owned that, that race team, but he always raced for Rachel Childress Racing. Now, might that have changed had he continued his career and gone longer? Possibly, but who knows?
I got you. So, just to be clear,
yes,
we got Game 7s all over, NHL,
Game 7s everywhere.
NBA,
yep.
And you're watching NASCAR.
Yeah. I did watch. I was watching both. So I had the race, but then I was also watching the Celtics game with a friend. First NBA game of the year for me. Feel pretty accomplished at that. Yep. Thank you very much. I'm just not an NBA guy. Yeah. Happy to talk about it.
Good game though.
Good game. I mean, the Celtics, could not hit the broadside of the barn to start the game, but managed to find a way to hit some shots and then took over from there. The three ball is such a difference maker in the NBA game.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Tatum was that dude, but they were all together pretty good, and sending Giannis home is something that we don't have to talk about as much as we may used to have done on this show. But, yeah, no more Giannis. It'll be Miami and Boston, and then Dallas and Golden State on the other side in the Western Conference. And if you turn that game off at halftime, it's probably fair. Dallas.
Yeah, that one turned out to be a bit of a stinker, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit of a surprise for the top seed over there in the West to not have it coming.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Phoenix. Like, Luka's obviously great, but, yeah, that was a absolutely horrible showing by Phoenix to blow, as a number 1 seed, the best team statistically in the NBA, or record-wise, I should say, throughout the regular season, and just lose like that. It's fine to lose, but to lose like that is pretty bad. But I guess we figure out what kind of dude Luka is, and now you got Luka against Steph and the Warriors. Will be fascinating. You just said you've watched one NBA game all year.
Yes.
Does Luka versus Steph and the rest of the crew in Golden State make you want to watch?
I might watch it, but it doesn't make me want to watch it. Maybe once we get to the NBA Finals, I'll watch it. I can get locked into that part of it, right? Once the title's on the line, then I'll be ready to go.
Brent Martineau.
What's happening? You got me loud and clear?
We do.
All right, good.
From beautiful Folkestone, Georgia, here joining us on the show. Brent Martineau on location, and with good reason, of course. The Indians up there getting ready for a Final Four baseball matchup here this afternoon and evening, Brent.
Yeah, it's they do it right up here in Charlton County, and so the baseball coach at Charlton County gave us a heads up. Hey, we're in the Elite Eight. The last week, and then we followed it along, and today starts the Final Four. But they do best-of-3 series up here. This is the way to do it. So it's best-of-3 in the Final Four. Then they'll play a best-of-3 in the state championship. I haven't seen a lot of Georgia baseball this time of year, but pretty cool for Charlton County. So we said, hey, let's come up here. And Camden County, by the way, plays their spring football game on Monday Night Football tonight. So they changed that up. So I said, hey, we'll pop up and get a little football from Camden County. Always been one of the better programs in our viewing area and coverage area. And, of course, you get ESPN 690, loud and proud, right up here in this area. So we got a cool backdrop, guys. If you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch once that gets rolling. We're in the outfield, essentially, here at Charlton County, a place I haven't been very often, but it's a cool spot. So thanks for the patience while we get set up. We also were taping a Dream 18 episode earlier this afternoon that we'll unveil on Wednesday on the Dream 18 show at 2 o'clock. So I know you guys have been talking Game 7s a little bit. Obviously some football chatter as well, and we always like to get to that. Have you mentioned Drew Brees yet? And what do you guys make of Drew Brees kind of saying that he might do a little bit of everything, or is this an NBC ploy or play of we really don't want Drew around, he wasn't that good?
Oh, that's a good question. I did not see anything on Drew Brees.
Yeah, he tweeted that he might come back and play football.
He's going to play football again?
Yeah, I don't believe him. I think I don't think many people do. But he said, hey, there's some rumors going around about my future, and
Does he just figure Brady can play forever? He can maybe come back and do the hybrid quarterback / announcer position?
Yeah, I don't think he's doing that announcer position because it sounds like I don't think Drew Brees was that entertaining. And I think that's the fear of like a guy like Tom Brady. I mean, you signed him to that big deal. Is he going to be great? Drew Brees, great quarterback. Drew Brees, great interview. Drew Brees, an analyst? Just okay, right? I mean, not a wow factor. What's Tom Brady? Is Tom Brady because he's the GOAT and even better and that much better than Drew Brees? Can you get away with being not so good? I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. And so it sounds like that was a little bit a part of it for Drew Brees. But anyway, those rumors came out yesterday, and I don't see Drew Brees playing again.
Yeah,
I just doubt
that
it.
Can't be right.
And he looked bad. Like, here's the thing that people forget. Like, Peyton Manning when he was retired, right? Eli Manning when he retired. Phillip Rivers when he was on his way out. I'm probably missing some, but name it. Ben Roethlisberger when he was on his way out. Drew Brees when he was on his way out. Like, they don't look that good anymore. Like, the eye test doesn't look great. Tom Brady, the eye test still looks really good. Like, I think that's what people are missing. It's not just an age thing. Just because one guy can play at 40 or 42 or 44 in Brady's case doesn't mean everybody else can. Like, people lose it quick. And so, yeah, I don't think this is a big deal, major deal. Maybe even something since the tweet and since I saw the last has come out about it to clarify. But it did seem almost like a joking matter from Brees when he tweeted about it on Sunday. And I just think it puts in perspective how good a guy like Brady continues to be. And while we talk about Brady in the broadcast booth eventually, Brady on the field is still really good. And I'll say it until I can't say it any longer. The difference between Brady and everybody else, the difference between Aaron Rodgers now at 38 and everybody else, is they still have a fastball. And when you can chuck it, and it doesn't matter that the athlete is supreme, you can still get it into a receiver, and you don't have to just rely on placement and timing like Peyton Manning had to do at the end of his career. Well, then you can still play. It doesn't matter if you're 60. If you still got a fastball the way Brady does and the way Aaron Rodgers does, and you throw it like those guys can, I think they can continue to play because their mind works better than anybody. They lap the field when it comes to that position. Compared to everybody else, even the Mahomeses, even the great ones right now, their mind is so much better than everybody else's in the league because they've played so long that the game slows down to a degree where their age, I don't think matters as long as they can still zip it. And Brady can still zip it. He doesn't get credit for like this power arm, but he can still chuck it in there when he needs to chuck it in there, guys.
So that Brees tweet you're talking about, I'll read the whole thing for you and let the people at home kind of decide how joking it was, because this didn't come out a month and a half ago. That would be April Fool's Day. It came out here in the middle of May where he said, despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. I may train for the pickleball tour. Is there a pickleball tour?
Yeah,
do they have one of those?
Popular sport.
Okay. I know it's getting popular, but I just didn't know they had a tour yet. Senior golf tour, coach my kids, or all of the above. I'll let you know. He needed some emojis to really punctuate that thing home.
Yeah, he won't be good. He just won't be good. I mean, Tom Brady is still good. Drew Brees wouldn't be good. Do you guys differ? I mean, do you guys think Brees could come back and play a little bit and still, like, be better than, let's just say, Jameis Winston? I mean, Brees might be looking around and be like, hey, they got Olave. They got Kamara. They got Michael Thomas. Hopefully he's healthy. They just added Jarvis Landry. Maybe it is a good time to come back and play.
Nah, I think he was talking about the USFL, to be honest with you. That's probably his best spot because he ain't playing in the NFL.
Would you be, if you're Drew Brees, would you be tempted, given their lineup and what they've done to their roster?
No, because look at the contracts these former quarterbacks are getting from a TV perspective. That's the thing I've always been worried about is these athletes, once they figure out that they can do the thing that we do in broadcasting and it can go on for another 30, 40 years without getting hit, I mean, then they're all going to flock over here and take our jobs, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but, I mean, we're probably not getting the jobs they are coveting, but they are taking everybody's money.
Wait, you're not doing the color commentary for Sunday Night Football?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But they may lower my play-by-play salary or sideline abilities because for $30 million, they're taking a big piece of the pie.
That's a good point. They like pie.
So, Pretty interesting. I tell you, I think it's fascinating what the Saints have done and to build that roster in these last couple of weeks with some of their additions that make it look like a better team. We talked about this last week, Casey. Like, I think they're like, I don't know if their odds moved much after the Matthew and Jarvis Landry moves, but I would think they would have moved a little bit. Like, I moved them in my mind, and maybe I'm just thinking different. So, the other thing about all this stuff, like, this is what happened this is why Aaron Rodgers got so mad back in the day. Like, Brett Favre basically held Aaron Rodgers' career hostage. Again, this isn't going to happen, but let's just put it in this perspective. Like, do you feel bad at all for, let's just say, a guy like Gabbert or Trask that might have had the Tampa job, but Brady comes back, and, of course, everybody's fired up because they'd much rather have Brady, but therefore the guy like Gabbert who waited his turn and maybe get another chance, or Trask who might just get his chance, now don't have a chance. Jameis Winston, obviously, is going to be the guy in New Orleans, but let's just say a Brees came back. Can you say no to Brees coming back if you're New Orleans? And is that a better option than Jameis Winston? Like, I'm not sure it is at this point, but then I would almost feel bad for Winston, who's waited around, maybe earned another chance, and now he's going to get pushed to the side. Like, that's what happened with that Green Bay organization. Again, you weren't saying no to Brett Favre coming back, but he held the career of Aaron Rodgers hostage for like 4 years as he molded over whether to come back. Again, the business model isn't going to feel bad for those guys. I do feel a little bit bad for those guys that have earned an opportunity, think they're about to get an opportunity, then get the rug pulled at the last moment because, well, the big-name quarterback's coming back for another year.
Yeah, but I'm not putting Blaine Gabbert, Kyle Trask in the same situation as Jameis Winston. Like, Drew Brees is not the starter. Like, if Drew Brees comes back and start him over Jameis Winston, that's stupid. He hasn't played football in a year, and it was horrible the last time he was out there. Jameis Winston looked really good before he got hurt. Like, that would be all-time dumb move, in my opinion. But in terms of the Gabbert Trask, it's hard to feel bad for him because it's Brady. Like, this would happen to nobody else in Brady. Like, I think Trask will eventually be their quarterback, but on the Saints side, like, Jameis is the quarterback whether Drew Brees comes back or not, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. Stuart, you think who would you rather have as your quarterback if you're the Saints? Drew Brees or Jameis Winston?
I think, like Casey said, healthy Jameis Winston was being a pretty productive player there before he went down. The thing I'm thinking of with Drew Brees is that if he were to come back, there's no way he can go to any other team, right? Like, the only place he's got that built-up equity would have to be New Orleans.
Yes. And I think that'd be the only place he'd be interested in going. But I think he would put them in a hard spot because how are you saying no to your best player, like in franchise history, after all he's done? Yet you might have these debates internally. I'd love to hear the debate, Jameis Winston or Drew Brees. Like, I kind of agree with you, Casey. At this point, I think I'll take my chances on Jameis Winston, although I think a lot of people would answer this question with Brees because they know at least the barometer of what they're getting. The problem with Winston is the barometer of what he has done is 30 interceptions. Like, you ain't getting that from Drew Brees, even if he's like half the guy he was.
Yeah, but like, do we know if Drew Brees even thrown a ball since he left? Like, I understand.
Yeah, I think it's all hypothetical. I mean,
agree.
It really is. Like, I don't think we know anything. That's why I don't even think this is really true. But it's been a fun 10-minute conversation just to kind of. I mean, who knows? I mean, these guys come back all the time. I didn't think Brady was coming back. I thought he was done.
That's fair.
Then all of a sudden he reversed course.
But by the way, to answer your question, what conversation are they having between Brees and Jameis? They said, do we want to win? Yes? Okay, we're playing Jameis. Like, that's just how it would go. Like, do you want to make the fans happy? Do we want to sell tickets and jerseys? Okay, we'll play Drew. If we want to win, we're playing Jameis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're selling any new Drew Brees jerseys, though. Like,
oh, sure you are.
If they don't already have a Drew Brees jersey, what are they doing at this point?
That's true. You'd have to bring out new jerseys so then you could get the new Drew Brees jerseys.
There you go. Maybe if he had a different number, just to throw it off and make people have to buy the new one.
He's number 10 now. Get the new jerseys.
Well, I know you guys talked about the Game 7s a little bit. We've got some Tom Coughlin sound from yesterday on Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. I thought it was really interesting what he had to say as the Tom Coughlin J-Fund golf tournament is today at TPC Sawgrass. So we'll hear from Tom. Also a conversation with Buster Brown, Jaguars cornerback. They drafted late in this year's draft. So we have that coming up on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Stuart may pop in and out, stay along the way. I'm going to get some highlights of Charlton County, too, because they do play at 4 o'clock. So I'll be bopping in and out. But Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 here on a Monday with a lot of football talk, and we mix in some other things. On PGA Championship Week, Tiger Woods is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so get fired up for that. He says he's stronger. Can you really be stronger this soon after the Masters? Who knows? We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today will be hot and humid, so stay hydrated and layer up on the sunscreen as we track a mainly sunny day. Highs in the afternoon near 90 degrees with a few storms. Tonight, partly cloudy and muggy with lows in the middle 60s. A few afternoon storms again by Tuesday with partly sunny skies, highs in the lower 90s. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedrick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
Untouchable pricing, incredible value, phenomenal shopping experience. Only at Beards Diamonds.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
All offers with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Hey, Jacksonville! I'm outside of Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, preparing for another day of celebrating our military heroes during our Memorial Day sales event. We just received a shipment of brand new Jeep Grand Cherokees, Gladiators, Renegades, Wranglers, and even Wagoneer. Sweet freedom! If you haven't considered Jeep for 2022, now is the time. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, 9600 Atlantic Boulevard.
If you're a small business owner in North Florida, you don't want to miss the 5th Annual Small Business Summit, Thursday, May 19th, hosted by Jacksonville's Women Business Center and Small Business Administration's North Florida District Office. This full-day free event will include networking, industry leaders, panel discussions, state, local, and federal government matchmaking sessions, and tools to scale your business. Learn more at jaxwbc.com or call 904-366-6618.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts now for their children and grandkids. So it's pretty cool to see that family tree grow.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years. Our non-commissioned sales associates are experts. They have only one goal: your complete satisfaction.
We have a 6,000 square foot showroom with anything and everything that you can want. Beards Diamonds has been family owned and locally operated since 1981.
40 years later, it's still our goal to offer the largest selection of quality diamond jewelry at the best prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed. The reason we can make that promise? As Beards owners, we are on the floor helping you with your purchase. We have no corporate bosses setting the price. The chain stores can't touch our prices. They just can't.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com. Come in and see us. We'd love to help you. Anybody that steps foot in our store is automatically a part of the Beards family.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
At CDW, we get how to achieve calm amidst the chaos of a hybrid workforce.
Before I check our security updates, I unwind in my desk massage chair.
So I hear. But with Google Chrome OS orchestrated by CDW, you get built-in security with no reported ransomware attacks ever and simplified management so you can stay relaxed.
Sounds good, but I'm keeping the chair.
For proactive security, trust Chrome OS and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Chrome OS.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
It is a big deal, and I hope it's understood in this community because he brings recognition and dignity, not only to the Jaguars, but to Jacksonville, Florida. And that's a huge deal. And there's one thing that we can all rise up as citizens and agree upon is we have our first gold jacket. And that has been a long time coming, and it's been rather difficult. And I've had my behind-the-scenes comments about why this is taking so long, but we've got it.
Well, that is Tom Coughlin. We caught up with him on Sunday night, had our entire conversation on Action Sports Jax Primetime on CBS 47 and Fox 30 from the J-Fund dinner the night before the J-Fund golf tournament. Good to see a lot of Jags out there, by the way. Doug Peterson ran into Trent Baalke there as well. Devin Lloyd, Logan Cook, former Jags, David Garrard, Josh Scobie. Jim Harbaugh was there as well. Which I thought was interesting because somebody brought up on Twitter, and I really wasn't thinking about it, as we welcome you back to Charlton County High School up here in Folkestone, Georgia, as they get ready to play the first game of a 3-game set in the Final Four here today. It's a 4 o'clock first pitch, and then they'll play the second one about a half hour after. So we're hanging out up here in Georgia. Thought it was a fun time to come up here, and, well, here we are on a beautiful Monday. But Casey Kurtz, somebody brought up on Twitter, is like, how was that with Jim Harbaugh and Trent Baalke there?
Jimbo was there, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that was like. You always wonder, like, I don't know how much bad blood is there. I haven't really researched a lot. Obviously, it didn't work out. And, I mean, it is what it is. But it's not like people can't be in the same room. You know, there's a lot of that goes on in the NFL. And, time, even if there was something, time heals a lot of that, I would think.
Is Jim Harbaugh a usual attender of the J-Fund?
No, that was a really good question, too. We were wondering, how did Jim Harbaugh get there? Like, what's the connection? And somebody was asking, I think it was Bachman, John Bachman was saying, I wonder why he was there. And I said, I don't know. I mean, football people know football people, right? I'm sure now with the J-Fund, Tom Coughlin puts a lot of feelers out there and says, hey, we got our golf tournament here, come on down. Or maybe Harbaugh had said he was going to come down a few years ago, couldn't make it, and said, I'll make sure I get back there. I think they try to help each other out. I don't know. Maybe I should know it better, but I don't know exactly the tie. I also thought, and we were messing around with this idea, a guy like Micah Pollard, who goes to Bartram Trail High School and is going to Michigan. And there's another kid, Parker, who's committed. Dent is his last name. He's committed to Michigan. Well, Micah Pollard's dad is Marcus Pollard, who obviously played in the NFL and now works with the Jags.
Sure.
Was there a connection there where somebody reached out? Does Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh talk more than we think and get along more than maybe the outside world thinks? And he asked them to come. I have no idea. I have no idea how it happened. I'd kind of like to find out just out of curiosity. It doesn't really matter. But Harbaugh was there. You got a pretty good celeb list annually at the J-Fund events. And so they raised a lot of money last night, and that was pretty cool. So it's always good to see a lot of the former Jags there and also some of the current Jags. Like, I was surprised to see Devin Lloyd out there, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that he came out. And they probably got him out, right? They said, hey, come on out here to this. Come see some people, meet some people, and get in the community. And there were several other Jags, too. To be honest with you, there were several other Jags, current Jags, that I'm not comfortably sure that I know them by face yet.
It's early. You got plenty of time, right?
Yeah, we'll learn them. But I don't know them by face yet. So, I didn't see Christian Kirk. I would have recognized him. He might have been there. I didn't see him last night. So, anyway, we'll hear a little bit more from Tom Coughlin, because the other stuff, obviously, J-Fun stuff is paramount, and that's why he was there, and that's why we were talking. He also mentioned Tony Baselli there, and they honored him last night. They raised a toast for Tony Baselli going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I thought those were really strong and cool words from Tom Coughlin about Baselli. But we will hear him talk about Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. I think you'll find that part pretty interesting, as we'll have more of that sound coming up later on here on a Monday on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Real quick, Game 7s, you guys mentioned it. Just going to jump in here. Mm-hmm. I mean, so good in hockey, so bad in the NBA. Like, I don't understand how you cannot show up in a Game 7. There are times where you just get blown out. I mean, heck, you could be in the Final Four here in baseball today. We've all experienced this if we played sports, and everything goes wrong and you lose 15-1 in the Final Four game, right? And that stinks when it happens. We've seen it in, like, the NCAA tournament, Final Four NCAA tournament, big game NCAA tournament. And you just can't make a shot, and things go wrong. But I'll tell you what, the way the NBA is, it's really hard to fathom that 2 games could have gone that bad for those teams in a Game 7, the way the series went. And the Mavericks beat the Suns, and the Bucks lose to the Celtics. I mean, I don't think anybody would have written those scripts, Casey.
Yeah, it was – the Suns one is just confusing. Like, they just didn't show up. And Luka was obviously the best player on the floor and now is in the conversation for the best player in the league, in my opinion. But that's the one that I can't quite figure out. I was flipping back and forth between hockey, and then I was like, I don't need to flip back and forth. This one's over. And I'm still kind of confused on how that played out. Chris Paul strikes again on not getting it done. I understand it's not all his fault, but the Suns one was weird. And then on the Bucks, they're good and everything, but I thought the Celtics were better. They got hot with the 3-ball. That helps, obviously, but I thought the Celtics were a better team. They advanced, and the Phoenix one is just one that I can't really wrap my head around.
Chris Paul legacy damaged more or Luka legacy lifted more with yesterday's performances?
That's a good question. I think I'm going to go with Luka because there was always like that question with Luka, not if was he good or great. He obviously is those things, but it's pretty much a one-man show. I understand Dinwiddie was really good yesterday, but early when the playoffs started, we didn't think they could win without him, and all those games were close. And he just took over, and he became the best player on the court, and he became the best player in the world yesterday. He'll have to continue to do that in the finals, obviously, but I think that was a legacy-changing moment for Luka and now what he can do. Because, look, if you look around that Dallas roster, they're not great besides him. They have some good quality role players, in my opinion, and they traded away Porzingis during the season, which was a move I was like, I'm confused by that, but it obviously worked out, and Luka is that dude. On the Chris Paul front, I don't think it's anything new. Like, he lost again, we move on type thing, and I think that's how it's going to be looked at unless they find out a way to win. But for me, yeah, that's Luka skyrocketing towards the top of the top players in the world.
Yeah, and by the way, I think we all knew he had that potential. I think he had the same amount of points at halftime as the Suns did yesterday. Listen, don't you think we should – like, Chris Paul has had some of these moments. You're right. Chris Paul has had some really bad games, like recently in the postseason the last couple of years. And the Suns have been such a good team over the course of the regular season the last 2 years, but have really nothing to show for it in the respect of a deep run into the postseason. But – like, shouldn't we be hammering Devin Booker a little bit more for 11 points? I mean, Chris Paul is a star, has been for a long time, but I don't ever believe he's like a centerpiece star. Like, he's never like if he's your best guy, you're probably not winning. Like, he's part of your best trio, right, or duo, but he's not like LeBron. He's not Luka.
No.
He doesn't take that role on. He's more facilitator and contributor than he is, I'm going to go win us the basketball game. Well, Devin Booker's role is to be Luka LeBron, like those guys, and he's an emerging star, and I know he's still young. The other part of this, by the way, is Chris Paul's running out of time, and so that's why we put a lot of emphasis on that. Like, he's not going to be able to fix it. Guy like Devin Booker can. Guy like Luka, if he didn't perform yesterday, has plenty of time to fix it and change that reputation. Chris Paul is running out of time, but I'm a little surprised everybody's on the story of Chris Paul today and maybe not as much on Devin Booker unless I've missed it.
No, I agree with what you're saying for sure. If you're Devin Booker, you cannot shoot 3 for 14 from the field. You just cannot do it. Bridges didn't help either. He was like 3 for 10 or 3 for 11, something like that. But I think your point about Chris Paul and the reason everybody, like, we found he was that guy. I guess I'll just start there. He was that guy way back in L.A., and he proved us that he couldn't do it then. Now we give him the chance to be a role player, and it didn't work again. So what is Chris Paul? Is he not good enough to win, like be on a team that wins? Is he not helping enough? Like, that's a question to be had. But to your point, yes, Devin Booker's their best player without question, and you cannot shoot 3 of 14 and not make a 3 in that game. He was absolutely brutal. There was nobody on their team that was any good, in fairness to Devin Booker. But your best player cannot do that if you expect to win. The other team's best player was absolutely incredible, and their role players stepped up. You look at Phoenix, Booker didn't do anything, and their role players were MIA. It was overall, like, I just don't understand how they showed up and did that. Like, it's mind-blowing to me that they won all those games in the regular season and did that in a Game 7.
Here's what I think. I think I would liken the Chris Paul situation and the narrative, if you will, over these last couple of years. Again, this is a guy that's a kind of a casual NBA observer and obviously lock in a little bit more now to see these storylines. But I have nobody in the fight either, so I think that helps me kind of look at it from a broader view. And I look at it a little bit like James Harden and Chris Paul. The difference, though, for me is what I'm saying is Chris Paul, to me, is more – he's an excellent player. He's an awesome player. But he's still never like the alpha number one guy that is going to lead you with 40-something points a game and triple-doubles, and he can do that in a game, but not every game of the series. James Harden was supposed to be that guy. What we've learned is he can't be that guy. He wasn't that guy in Houston. He wasn't going to be – it doesn't look like that guy in Brooklyn, and he's not going to be that guy in Philly. He can contribute, but he's not going to be that alpha dog, LeBron, those guys. I mean, Kyrie Irving even – probably prove that he can be more of that guy than the Hardens that even Paul has now in the postseason. But I guess we're kind of in the same territory with Harden and Paul, where they just don't seem very clutch this time of year in the biggest of spots.
Yeah, absolutely. But to that point, like that you made with Harden, it's a fair one. We learned that Chris Paul wasn't that dude. So if you're Phoenix, like it works in the regular season, I don't know. Do you have to make a move and get rid of him? Because he makes a lot of money. So his salary's not equaling out with his performance on the court when it matters the most, because it didn't match up in the finals last year either. So they're going to have to do something, and Devin Booker's a very good player, but they got to put something around him, I guess, because he proved last night that he can't do it by himself.
All right, there we go, a little NBA chatter. We'll get to maybe the Game 7s in hockey
we
a
will,
little bit
Brent.
later on.
We will.
Because those delivered. I mean, listen, I'll get more in it a bit later on, but hockey's funny to me because, like, some people are locked in. Somebody asked me today, I was like, hey, do you watch? I was like, no, I didn't watch it front to back. But I made sure to flip it on at the biggest of times. You know, that's how I kind of watch even playoff hocky. Because to be honest with you, this time of year, I don't watch anything front to back.
You talking hockey in general or just like one specific game?
Just like one, yeah, both probably. But this time of year, like, I flipped it on when I saw the Rangers game was close late, right, into Game 7. Like,
that's what I meant.
It
when
on,
you say
like Calgary,
you mean hockey.
Yeah, like I want to see what was going on there, and it's almost like, okay, get me over, tell me what's going on so I can get to the TV, right? That's how I treat hockey a little bit, but and it's awesome. It delivers, and I always ask myself this: why don't I watch it front to back more? Because every moment would be enjoyable. But I'm just being honest with you, the way I consume it. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's take a break. We're live at Charlton County High School Final Four baseball. Here it's a best-of-3 series. Starts at 4 o'clock on a beautiful day up here in southeast Georgia on a Monday on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
What's up? This is Brian, and if you haven't checked out Action Sports Jax Overtime yet, starting at 6 p.m., you're missing out on moments just like this.
The Jags not drafting Kayvon Thibodeau will be the worst mistake this franchise has ever made, in my opinion. This guy is a game wrecker. This guy is going to be a problem for a long time in this league. Travon Walker, the best we can hope for is he'll be the same. But I think Kayvon Thibodeau's the best player in the draft. I think every team that passes on him is making a mistake. The way I see it, this is the best player in the draft with the highest ceiling, and I think the Jags are making a mistake by not picking this man.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? Quality oil like Mobil 1 Full Synthetic can help you get more out of every mile. Got an older vehicle? Try Mobil 1 Full Synthetic High Mileage. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,000 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
If you know me, I play a lot of golf. And what happens when you play a lot of golf? You can feel it after the 18 or maybe a couple of 18s. Got chronic joint pain because of golf or because of the workplace or just because, and you're not having success with steroids, but you're trying to avoid surgery? Thankfully, there's a better way, and it's now available from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. I'm talking about new therapies, advanced all-natural regenerative treatments that not only just give you relief, but also can restore and repair damaged tissue for long-lasting relief. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy solutions. QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation, 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522. Remarkable new treatments that increase mobility, decrease pain, and help restore tissues. Restorative, regenerative, and revolutionary alternatives. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522.
Hi there. I'm Mia. I'm Air.
You're Air?
Yeah. I just got out of the lungs of someone smoking a cheap little cigar outside a bodega. Oh, it was so smoky in there. And where there's smoke, there's
fire.
Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. Little cigars might taste sweet, but they still kill. I'm supposed to be helping people, not unhelping them.
You mean hurting?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm a bit of an airhead.
Little cigars are just as dangerous as regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer. You don't have to be an unbelievable golfer to have a favorite round of golf. Your Dream 18. Maybe it's the people you were with, the place you played, the situation you were in. Give us your Dream 18 at hashtag Dream 18 and tune in Wednesdays to a new show, The Dream 18 Show, 2 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
ESPN 690 just wrote a check for another $1,000. It's the payroll payout, and you can be cashing in on any one of the 5 chances we're giving you every weekday. Listen at 8 a.m., 10, noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. for your shot. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. Get the complete rules now at ESPN690.com.
Top 10, that's pushing it. Top 5, no. And there's no discredit to CP. He's going to be Hall of Fame, of course, but I mean, we talking about some studs, man.
Are we talking about point guard or player?
I'm talking about point guards. But if you give anyone the keys for that long, you should have those numbers.
Well, those guys on the morning show, Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman on ESPN 690, 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. each and every day. You join us, Action Sports Jax, on ESPN 690, Monday through Friday, and you should check in 3 to 6 because you never know where we will be. We try not to use the studio. I just don't like going back to the studio. So today at Charlton County High School, after being on the road every single day, last week we'll be on the road quite a bit. Probably not every single day, but quite a bit here this week in the middle of May as well. Let me tell you about iCryo. If you haven't heard about it yet, you're missing out. Everybody's trying it out in St. Johns County at the Pavilion at Durbin Park, and they've got May Appreciation Month for nurses and teachers and military, first responders as well. One free lifestyle service. So what's a lifestyle service? That's the cryotherapy chamber. That is compression. That is sauna, red light therapy. Then they have other things as well, like body sculpting and IV infusions. So check it out. Download the app, the iCryo app. It's in St. Johns County. Just opened in the last month and off to a terrific start. Everybody's trying it out and checking it out. You should too. And make sure you take care of yourself in the summer as well. 2 body sculpting slimming, 2 body sculpting toning, 4 facial toning, body cryo, sauna, and therapy as well. You can get over a $500 savings on that kind of package. So check it out. Do your research on it and meet us down at iCryo at the Pavilion at Durbin Park, where you might see the Martineaus almost on a daily basis down there. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz here at Charlton County High School as we get set for some baseball. And, Casey, I may have you talk a little bit about I don't want to get stuck in a national anthem here, so if I see the national anthem, I may check out for a minute and a half or so during that. But we've got some baseball in the Final Four here in the state of Georgia with Charlton County. It's a best-of-3 series. Anybody who likes local baseball in Jacksonville would probably be like, that's the way we should do it down here. I think they do it right up here in the state of Georgia. Meanwhile, how about the Reds? No-hitter and lose yesterday. I mean, such a rare feat. As somebody said, I think it was Ben Becker who's saying, he's like, that's more rare than like a perfect game in big league baseball history.
Yeah, I think it happened one other time, but that is unconfirmed for sure. Yeah, Hunter Green, who's been like a super prospect for them wherever. They thought he was a two-way player. He was a second overall pick, I believe first. I'm pretty sure he was second a couple years back. Throws really hard. A little subplot to this one, Brent. I could have picked him up in fantasy baseball, but I said, nah, his ERA is like 7. He's not going to do me any good. Yep. Throws a no-hitter. But the point of the story is they lose the game because they walk some guys to the Pirates of all teams. And did you see that it's not even technically counted as a no-hitter because they didn't get all 27 outs because they were the away team?
Yeah, I saw that, right, because they're the away team.
Is that fair?
It's fair because they lost, I think.
See, I would be more okay with it if it's like you don't get it because you lose, not because of the
like rain or
the
something.
1 inning short. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you throw a no-hitter and lose, then that shouldn't count because obviously something went wrong. But if you throw a no-hitter for 8 innings and don't get to finish the 9th because you're the away team and something like that happens, like, I don't know. I don't love it. Because you remember, what was the dude's name for the Marlins? He threw the no-hitter and he was on deck when the Marlins scored. Do you remember that story?
I don't remember that. No,
what was his name? Henderson Alvarez. So he was throwing a no-hitter for the Marlins, and it went into the 9th scoreless, and the Marlins won on a walk-off wild pitch. He was on deck, and so the run scored. It was a walk-off. The game was over, and then it became a no-hitter because he had pitched 9 complete no-hit innings, and he was on deck to hit to go out back for the 10th with a no-hitter still intact, and they walked it off on a wild pitch. It was insane.
Wow, I don't remember that clear as day, which is interesting because you would have thought maybe they would pinch hit for him in the bottom of the 9th of a 0-0 game, right, or a tie game. Yeah, it would have been 0-0. So in that spot, even though he was pitching a no-hitter. Here's one other thing. I thought everybody's all over the Reds because they started terrible. What were they, like 3-21?
Yeah.
Well, I saw this going around. It's like, the Reds. I looked them up because I was like, I feel like the Reds have played a little better. I know they got off to the horrific start, and I'm not trying to tell you they're good. So I looked at the last 10 games that included this no-hitter loss, and there are only 4 teams in Major League Baseball that have a better record than the Reds in the last 10 games.
One of them's the Yankees.
One of them's the Yankees, and again, others are 7-3. That's the better record, and there are other ones that are 6-4, like the Reds. But the point being is, like, they're like the laughing stock of the league, and quite frankly, they just threw a no-hitter, and they actually haven't been playing that bad the last couple of weeks. So It's just an interesting dynamic. I think everybody's still got in their mind they were so putrid to start the year in the first month to go, I think, again, 3-21. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here because I wonder how a game like that messes with your psyche. You've already been terrible, and now you're like, we're throwing a no-hitter and losing. You've got to be, as a clubhouse and a team, like, what else can go wrong here for us?
Absolutely. And then on the flip side of that, like, the Pirates aren't great. You win a game without getting a hit, like, hey, maybe this is going right for us and we turn it around from here on out.
Yeah, so some interesting stuff already this year in baseball. It's been a pretty wild campaign to see. It's like things that just don't happen very often. From an Ohtani grand slam to a Judge walk-off we talked about last week to something like this.
Couple no-hitters as well.
But
actual ones.
I think somebody said no-hitter in a loss actually happened like in 2016. Like pretty recent.
Interesting.
It was 2012. Like I think there was one recently. More recent than I would have remembered. I would have thought that would have been like, that didn't happen in 25 years type of thing.
That's what I would think too.
But it was definitely a rarity for sure what happened with the Reds and the Pirates game yesterday. All right, we'll talk more football when we come back. My conversation with new Jags cornerback Buster Brown. He's a fun guy. How does he fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Plus, talk a little bit more about minicamp. Stuart Weber will join us again as we were out there on Friday and Saturday down at the stadium and Jags headquarters. That and so much more, including some scheduled conversations that we didn't get to, some leftovers, and more from Tom Coughlin. He talks Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, and I thought it was really interesting. All that on the way on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Know about you, but I'm ready for some sunshine, good vibes, and summertime fun. You too? Well, have I got great news. Summer starts here. Where? At the Summer Starts Here event going on now at Arlington Toyota. What can you expect during the Summer Starts Here event at Arlington? How about hot savings on all new Toyotas, including financing as low as 1.9% on 10 new Toyota models. Plus, Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available. Start your summer fun with hot savings at the Summer Starts Here event going on now. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/summer starts here for details.
Got chronic joint pain, maybe not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery. Well, thankfully, there's a better way, and it's now available from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau, and I'm talking about new therapies, advanced all-natural regenerative treatments that not only just give you relief, but also can restore and repair damaged tissue for long-lasting relief. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy solutions. Call now for a free consultation. It's QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. These remarkable new treatments increase mobility, and they decrease pain and help restore tissue. They actually encourage your body to heal itself. Call now and learn more about these restorative, regenerative, and revolutionary alternatives. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts now for their children and grandkids. So it's pretty cool to see that family tree grow.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years. Our non-commissioned sales associates are experts. They have only one goal: your complete satisfaction.
We have a 6,000 square foot showroom with anything and everything that you can want. Beards Diamonds has been family owned and locally operated since 1981.
40 years later, it's still our goal to offer the largest selection of quality diamond jewelry at the best prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed. The reason we can make that promise? As Beards owners, we are on the floor helping you with your purchase. We have no corporate bosses setting the price. The chain stores can't touch our prices. They just can't.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com. Come in and see us. We'd love to help you. Anybody that steps foot in our stores is automatically a part of the Beards family.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. How did Jordan's interview go?
I'm not sure. Your brother isn't home yet. Oh, one sec. Someone's at the door.
Are you Mrs. Lewis?
Yes?
Mrs. Lewis, I'm Officer Taylor. Your son was in a crash and has died.
What?
He wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
No. No.
Mom, is everything okay? Mom, answer.
Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. NFL officials are slated to meet with Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson this week. The league has been investigating Watson to determine if he violated its personal conduct policy. He's facing 22 civil lawsuits accusing him of inappropriate sexual conduct. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. NBA Celtics guard Marcus Smart dealing with a mid-foot sprain, questionable for the East Finals opener against the Heat tomorrow, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. Then on Wednesday, the Mavericks and Warriors tip off the West Finals. Don't be surprised if Luka Doncic and company knock out Golden State, says Bally Sports Southwest Mavs analyst Derek Harper.
I like the Mavericks, man. I really do. I'm not just being a homer or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a good matchup for Dallas. And right now, if you're not expected to do anything, you do everything, right? There's no pressure on the Mavericks.
Derek Harper on Barton Hahn. West Finals Game 1 Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. NHL Golden Knights fired coach Pete DeBoer. Vegas failed to make the playoffs for the first time after a barrage of injuries and salary cap problems created lineup issues.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Four o'clock hour on a Monday. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 rolls along. Still a lot to do. An interview with Brent and Buster Brown coming up a little bit later in this segment. We got baseball going right now. Brent Martineau standing for the national anthem. I think Stuart Weber's around somewhere. So a lot still to do on a Monday edition of the show. We're going to talk some hockey as well, obviously, because you know how I care about my Tampa Bay Lightning. Isn't that right, Brent?
Yeah, you do care about your Tampa Bay Lightning. By the way, we're heading over to Tampa on Memorial Day weekend. We're going to watch the Rays and the Yankees. Not going to watch the Yankees, but watch the Rays and say hi to Travis Chapman, who's coaching first base for the Yankees. But also, apparently, Game 6 of the Lightning is on that Friday night. Ty noticed that, and so maybe could we catch a playoff hockey game, which might be cool if we could do that. So we will see if that's the case. Let's go to the phones right now, and we're going to go off topic a little bit. And how about talk a little bit women's tennis down at Flagler College, who's playing in the national championship, I think over in Altamont Springs. Rod Puebla joins us now in Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Coach, thanks for taking a couple minutes. Hey, give us the lay of the land here, because top of mind is not how tennis and the national championships work. We're used to individual tennis or doubles tennis. What's the format, and how do you feel about your group going into the national championships?
Hey, guys, thank you for having me here. Yeah, it's pretty unique system. We we did this last year. We qualified for the Elite Sweet 16, but due to COVID, there was some sort of sweet regionals, super regionals, and they were still playing on different sites. This year, we kind of went back to normal, the NCAA and D2, and they placed us, the top 16 teams in the country on one site. And all starts tomorrow. In the first round, it starts around noon. So that's kind of how it works in tennis.
Okay, thanks for giving that a little bit of explainer. Well, tell us about your tennis team. Obviously, this is a great feat to get where you're at. Can you win it? Can you make some noise? How do you feel going in?
Well, we had a pretty strong team. We finished 2 in the we shared the title in our conference in the Peach Belt. We're ranked 11 in the country, and our number 1 player, she's our number 4 in the country, and the NCAA Division II. And our number 1 doubles, it's actually our number 6 team in the country. So we do play St. Mary's tomorrow at noon in San Orlando Park. And then, which they're the number 9 team in the country, and we're seeded 8 in the tournament here. So we do have a good option to move on to the Elite 8, but you know how it is. We got to come out and play tomorrow.
Yeah, and you got to play well. Appreciate Rod Pueblo joining us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, Flagler women's tennis coach. And are all schools in tennis this loaded with international players? It's obviously an international sport, but you have, a young lady from Bradenton, Florida, but then you also have on your roster Germany, Chile, Guatemala, New Jersey, Germany, and Germany again. Is that a focus for you in your recruiting, or is that commonplace in women's tennis around the country?
It is based, it's like we all know, tennis is an international sport. It's very popular all over the world. Here, basically we do have a couple players from America, but usually the top players in America, they try to use the D1 route and go to the big programs in the country. Sometimes we get lucky here and there, but it's very tough to get the top players in the country to come to, I wouldn't say small school, but, like Flagler. But, yeah, it is the norm kind of. Even on D1 route, you'll see most of them from overseas.
Well, by the way,
so
it's
a norm.
It's got to be kind of like, I feel like it's a fit. Am I making it up that Flagler has a lot of international students anyway? I don't know your entire student body, but I feel like from an athletic standpoint, there's a lot of international flavor on your rosters, not just tennis.
Well, it's kind of hard not to come to Flagler. It's a beautiful place, beautiful campus, and then, you get all these Europeans trying to find the nice weather and a great location that we have. It's hard to pass. And we do have Addie. Addie, Brunich from Bradenton. She's actually the granddaughter of Nick Bollettieri, and he's one of the most famous tennis coaches in the country. So she's kind of one of the different breed here that we have, but they're all trying to find their best place to go.
Rod Pueblo with us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I'll leave you with this. The men's team also playing in the national championships. How cool is that both men's and women are in to this spot, and also just how good is tennis, I guess, at Flagler College?
Yeah, we started, last year it was just the women. Now, Jonas started this year. He got that group together. Now they're in the top 16, and I believe they start on Wednesday here at 8 a.m. They'll be their first round. So they start a little a day later. But, I think they have a great chance. They're the number 7 seed. So it will be very exciting to have them here as well.
Well, thanks for taking a couple minutes, giving a little insight on Flagler College women's and men's tennis. Rod, good luck over the next couple of days. Hope you get some W's and make some noise on the national level. But heck of a season just even to get to this point.
I know. Thank you so much for having me here, and we'll hope we can do something tomorrow.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Bye.
Brent Martineau here up at Charlton County as we're underway here for the Indians of Charlton County against Social Circle, which is obviously another school out of Georgia. We've got some interesting names. It's got to be because a lot of the charter schools and stuff. We find some. I was like, is that really a school? Yeah, that's a school name.
Anything could be a school name, Brent.
Yeah, I know. But we see it in Jacksonville now, right, all the time. Like, I think St. John's Country Day played it last year in the baseball, and I noticed, and they might see him again this year, Out of Door Academy.
Oh, I know about Out of Door.
But, how is that a school name?
Are they good now?
And I don't want to, by the way, I got to be careful here because I don't know exactly all the true meanings of the names, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble. But, I mean,
Well, you already said it. I mean,
but out of door, does that sound like a school?
They're private. That's what I remember from them. And when we used to play them, they were bad. Like, we had to go far. I forget exactly where they are, but we had to bus a long way, and we beat them by like 14. It was something crazy. It was like really weird.
Yeah, so, they're good now. I can tell you that. They're good the last couple years in baseball.
Well, that's good.
At least. I don't know much else about the school, but anyway, Charlton County playing Social Circle. Just got going in the first inning here, and it looks like nice dive and play over there at third, so things going well for Charlton County. I'm going to go get some highlights, guys, for the next little bit. You guys take away this segment. We got a Buster Brown interview coming, so take it away back in Jacksonville. We'll rejoin you in just a few minutes after maybe I get a couple of runs for the good guys of Charlton County.
Sounds good, Brent. We'll talk to you then. Stuart Weber, back in the fold. What up with you?
What's happening? Just been getting stuff ready here for Action Sports Jax on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Of course, we do the whole TV thing as well. Getting our sportscast ready for tonight. Got a little college golf update on there. College golf NCAA Division I men's regionals starting off today, hitting the course, and guess who's leading their regional right now?
Give me the good news.
That'd be the UNF Ospreys. We are well aware of the talent that Coach Schroeder has put through that program over the years. Once again, performing well against the big dogs of the college game, as they are on top, tied for first in their regional. 3 rounds, by the way. Top 5 move on to the finals. So just got to keep it up.
Yeah, we had Coach on the other day, and yeah, he thought they had a pretty good chance. So shout out to the Ospreys. Osprey grad myself, Stuart Weber. So
yeah,
we're out here swooping left and swooping right,
swooping all over the place. Nick Gabrelchik and Brandon Mancino off to a great start in that golf tournament. So we'll see if they can keep it going up in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yale, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
You're right.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Beautiful Connecticut.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Brent has this conversation with Buster Brown. Stuart Weber, I think you were there when this conversation took place. New member of the Jags. Any background you want the people to have before they hear the conversation?
His name's Buster.
What did I say?
We'll find out why in this conversation that Brent Martineau had. Yeah, late round draft pick, a guy who you don't know a whole lot about coming into it. Just know the fact that he's first team all conference in the SEC his last year there in Arkansas because he was a ball hawk, guy who knew how to intercept the ball. So. Certainly able to come up with some good stats playing in the SEC. Not a bad conference last time I checked. And
it just means more.
It just means more. So much more, especially in Fayetteville. We had a good chance to catch up with Buster Brown on the practice field after day 2 of Jaguars rookie minicamp. Brent Martineau chatting with Monteric Buster Brown.
You made it to the big time. How are these last couple of days for you?
Man, it feels good, just adjusting to the weather and getting to Florida. I've been waiting for this opportunity, so it's finally here.
What's it like? Is it just football at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's just football. It's just something I've been doing as a little kid, so ain't nothing more than football.
How about just kind of being in the stadium? Now does it hit you at all in these last couple of days that you're in the NFL? You signed your contract, all that stuff. Has there been a moment like, okay, here we are?
It hit me the first day. But, after the first day, you just got to get past that. You just got to get ready to put in work. So you can't really just think about it too much. I just thought about the one day, and I just put it to rest and just get ready to work.
Do you know from maybe just growing up or playing in college or whatever, some of these guys, do you have any previous relationships with them?
I got 2 former teammates here, Grayson Gunner and Grant Morgan. So it's good to see those guys, and Razorback Red. So it's good to talk to them and see them around the facility.
Would you be here if you never transitioned to corner? Do you think you would have made it to the NFL as a safety?
I feel like I would have. Yeah, I would have been in the same position, so it would not matter.
How glad are you that you're playing corner, though? Is it a better fit for you, and was that the right move?
I could do anything, so just playing corner, competing every day, competing every snap, it's nothing like it. Like, everybody cannot do that, so I'm just happy to play corner.
Where did you take off? Where did you know going into Arkansas, hey, I got a chance to play in the NFL someday? Or was there some time in your collegiate career okay, you had a very productive career, obviously. So was there some time hey, I'm going to keep playing football after this?
Growing up, I was a baseball player, and then I started playing football in middle school, and then towards high school, my sophomore year, took off for me, and I just stuck with it, and that's when I knew I can make something in football.
All right, so bring you over to the Shrimp and throw a little batting practice. Can you hit it out of there or what?
Oh, yeah, I can definitely hit it, no doubt. No doubt, man.
We're going to get you over here, throw the first pitch out or something.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
What position were you in baseball?
I was a shortstop. Shortstop, I played outfield, center field, left field, right field. So I did it all.
Just an athlete, so you can do everything.
Oh, yeah.
All right, where did Buster come from?
You know, my grandma gave me that name as a kid, and it just stuck with me as a kid. And everybody loves the name. You know, it's some old shoes called Buster Brown shoes. So people love that and always tell me about the shoes and every time they hear my name. So it's a great name.
Is it better being a defensive player when your name's Buster?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It sticks with you. Everybody loves it. You know, they say it on TV. You know, they don't say my real name, so it feels good to be called that.
What's the family call you? And does anybody call you Montero?
No, not really. Not really. Some people, but mostly Buster.
What do you see now going into this season and really when it turns up? Obviously, you got some OTAs and things, but how do you approach the next few months and then trying to earn your spot and get in the rotation and all the things that you probably want to do going into season one?
You know, I got to come in here every day, you know, with a chip on my shoulder, you know, earn my respect to my teammates and, you know, coaches and show them what I can do. So just down, chip on my shoulder and head down and working every day.
We have not seen this. I know you guys are just getting a glimpse of this defense, but we don't know. I mean, there's a new defense coordinator, new system. Some of the stuff that you see, will you acclimate easily? Do you like what the playbook looks like?
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's kind of similar to Arkansas, so, you know, I'm just transitioning to this defense, you know, and just putting it in my Arkansas terminology and switching it to Jaguar terminology, so it's kind of similar to Arkansas. So I love the defense. It's meant to make plays, so you'll see later on.
A couple of quick ones for you. You did make a lot of plays. That production, why is that? Is there an instinct? Is there a nature to being around the football that some guys have and some guys don't? Why were you able to be so productive?
No, it started at practice. You know, you got to compete every day at practice, you know, and I treated practice like game day. You know, I had great coaches, Barry Odom, you know, Sam Carter, to put me in them positions to make plays. So just practice and coaches, you know, I worked hard for that, and, you know, it paid off for me.
And the last one for you, you have been playing and producing. You might have to be a little more patient getting on that field as a rookie and some of the depth they have here. Is that an adjustment mentally? Do you have to change the way you think when you know you're maybe not going to go out there, play every snap, start, all those things?
You know, once I'm not on the field, you know, you just got to take mental reps. When you're not on the field, you got to see what the person in front of you doing. So, you know, just taking a lot of mental reps and, you know, learning. So, man,
good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Brent Martineau chatting with the 222nd overall pick in the NFL draft this season by the Jags, Buster Brown. Weber, I don't know. I liked what he was saying. I like hearing him talk. He has that energy, right? You can kind of feel it.
You can tell he's a guy who's done an interview or two in his day, and you can always tell the guys who haven't. The big key for Buster Brown is really going to be what can he do on special teams to get things started. Because you take a look at the depth chart at cornerback. I mean, Shaq, Darius, Tyson Campbell, there's three. Trey Herndon, Rudy Ford. These are the guys he's going to be going up against and really battling for. And like he said, I mean, he had some good perspective in there. It's going to be a lot about learning early on and trying to find his place on this 53-man roster, if he can make it on the 53-man roster. That's one of the interesting things here the last couple of years with so many draft picks for the Jaguars is that they've drafted a lot of guys. We're going to get to that point where, you know, for many years in Jacksonville, the 7th-round pick was guaranteed a spot on this roster, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. You hope it's not the case. You want to be a team that's at the point where you aren't necessarily keeping all your 7th-round picks. You want them to have to fight for a roster spot with the other guys who are already on the team.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good point because we saw guys last year and, like you said, in previous years be cut that were drafted. So just because you're drafted doesn't really – I mean, yes, you were drafted, and that's obviously a huge accomplishment, but that doesn't guarantee you a spot like you were saying. I think it's interesting, though, with the special teams part of it because we sat up here a lot last year and everything went wrong that possibly could have for the Jags, but a lot of the times
what do you mean?
We were like, yeah, right?
Wait,
no,
what?
Everything was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
We talked a lot about the special teams problems. So a guy like this can make an impact on special teams and then maybe find his way into the lineup at some point because, like you said, Trey Herndon, who's been here a bit, Shaq, who a couple years left on the deal, but although it's locked up right now, that doesn't mean he can't earn a spot down the road as long as he performs on special teams.
Yeah, so that'll be one of the guys to keep an eye on. And as we said, going into that interview, he's a guy who's proven it at the highest level of college football in the SEC. He's played in those big-time atmospheres, those big-time Southeastern Conference matchups and games that matter. Obviously, Arkansas with a bit of a resurgence here as of late as well, so he was a big part of that. Buster Brown, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Great name as well. So that was that on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Coming up at 5, me and Brent will talk a little bit more about the schedule. We will also share.
Are you excited about the schedule?
No.
No?
Okay, so that's another, you talking about schedule in general or like the release?
A little, yeah, let's say the release. I mean,
okay.
that's the newest thing, right? Obviously, it came out Thursday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
just like that I can start planning for the fall.
Yeah, like Brent said the same thing, but I played FIFA while it came out, and then it came out, and I was like, okay, great. Like am I wrong to not care at all? Like it's May.
I mean,
I know you guys have you guys got to schedule flights and all that stuff. I stay here, so I don't have to do that.
It lined up well for vacation plans for me.
Of course it did.
It could not have gotten any better. A little bye week right before Thanksgiving. I can't wait. It's great. It's perfect.
Speaking of vacation, Brent didn't ask you, and I don't know if you're coming back, so I will. How was Peru?
Peru was good. Yeah, went down to South America for the past week. First time I was ever down there. It was an experience, man. Machu Picchu, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Had a chance to go see it, and it is it definitely lives up to the billing. It is a breathtaking experience to see that there.
Did you go to a soccer match?
I did not. Unfortunately, the timing did not line up. I was in the middle of the jungle in the Amazon on the Incan Trail when the teams were playing in Lima and Cusco, so I didn't get a chance to go see the teams play. I had to enjoy nature and hikes and mountain biking and whitewater rafting instead. Tough change there.
Did you see any terrifying animals?
No, I saw a dead snake in a jar, but it wasn't terrifying. It wasn't
in a jar?
It was in a jar, yeah.
Why?
They were fermenting the juices, man. I don't know.
That's terrible. I hate snakes.
These things happen. You hate snakes?
Terrified, bro.
Okay. Well, sorry about that.
Why did you judge me? You judged me for sure.
Because it's just a little snake. What's the problem?
Okay, there's a difference between a little snake. I don't know how big the jar was. What if it's like a gallon jar, like a barrel jar? You didn't say it was like a small jar you buy at the Walmart.
Like a gallon.
You're telling me it was a gallon jar?
Yeah.
And the snake was little?
I mean, it was probably a good 5-6 footer snake. Snakes are more afraid of you than you're afraid of them.
Not necessarily. The meat, yeah, you're right. But here's my thing with snakes. I'm not a snake expert, right? So I don't know which ones are venomous. So any little snake, it might be small, it might be 5 feet. Congratulations. What if it's venomous? It can kill you. It's the same thing with spiders. I'm not scared of spiders, but you never know which ones you want to mess with and which ones you don't.
A lot of things that can kill you in this world. That's no way to live, worrying about it.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. My thoughts on life.
You were the one looking at snakes in a jar, so I guess you're right. Well, I'm glad your Peru trip was good, Stuart.
I am too. It was a blast. Check out the Instagram if you want to see more. At Stuart Weber.
Not Worldwide Weber, though. Still can't get that one, huh?
Yeah, I'm working on it. He just won't sell it to me, that guy. Come on, guy. If you're listening, sell me it.
He needs it.
I've got the Twitter account. I just need the Instagram.
Worldwide Weber on Twitter, not Instagram. And if you happen to be listening, please sell your account to Stuart Weber. We got more to do. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, partly sunny, hot and humid with highs near 90 degrees with an isolated afternoon storm. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, muggy with lows in the middle 60s. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedrick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
You can always get a bigger, better diamond for less at Beards Diamonds.
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of Gator Bowl Sports. For the past 76 years, Northeast Florida has been host to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl and events. When televisions tune into Jacksonville for kickoff, we want to be sure we showcase that Jacksonville supports college football. From buying a ticket to the game, making a donation to send local deserving children to the game, or volunteering, I would ask that you consider supporting this great local tradition. To learn more, visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
All offers with approved credit and not a conjunction. See dealer for complete details.
We're celebrating Jeep Freedom Days. Freedom to drive from the best new selection of SUVs out there. Get yours now at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. What's your Jeep thing? Renegade? Wrangler? Maybe it's Gladiator or Grand Cherokee. You tell us. So many models to choose from. We can't even mention them all. Plus our great selection. Oh my!
Westside.
If we don't have exactly what you want, we will order order it at a price and payment you're going to love. See our inventory at jackscjdrwestside.com. First-time new car buyer? Our lenders are ready to make you a new car loan, and rates are still low. So hurry in and save. Bring us your trade and get the most for it. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. It's easy to find us. Take I-295 to Commonwealth Avenue, and you're here. Westside.
New message.
What up, It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked, snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf, or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to ActionSportsJaxDream18.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Well, you're going to look at the teams with cap space. A team like, let's say, for example, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Portland. Teams who could create enough cap space to go out and sign them But also the discussions of a sign and trade, meaning teams who maybe don't have the cap space, and if Phoenix decides they want to get assets back for DeAndre Ayton, they don't want to match an offer sheet and either decide to pay him that max or allow him to just leave for nothing, which I think is what they won't do. There'll be a lot of conversations around the league. DeAndre Ayton's going to get a max contract in the marketplace somewhere.
Woj right there talking about DeAndre Ayton and what went wrong for the Suns, but involves maybe having to get rid of some of the players that they thought were good that turned out were not good. But frankly, nobody for the Suns was good last night. In a rout, Luka Doncic and the Mavericks head to the finals to take on Golden State. Continue talking about that as we go along throughout the week and on Action Sports Jax Overtime as well. And we'll let Brian Middleton give his thoughts on it, and then I'll gloat a little bit about being right and him not being.
Isn't that the best?
It really is.
It's always the best. I will say I had a friend on Facebook, big Phoenix Suns fan, distraught, said that the title window is over.
Really?
It was a tight window.
It must
have been a really short window.
Yeah, I mean, that probably has to do with Chris Paul being old, and now you have to pay Ayton. So, And then the Devin Booker question now is he was horrible the other night. Is he actually that dude? So a lot of questions unanswered in Phoenix, that is for sure. Stuart Weber, Casey Kurtz with you. Brent Martineau getting some highlights right now as we speak, and I think he has more of that to do tonight, right, Stuart? There's a lot of local high school football action going on. Spring games are a thing right now.
Yeah, here in Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia, we're in a place that loves its football, as you well know. Mm-hmm. It's the reason why everyone clamors for all the Jaguars talk, even in the middle of May, when there's nothing really to talk about except for practice. Yep. We still want to talk about football, talk about the NFL. Well, high school football right now is the end of spring practice. They started up about a month ago, and now we're starting to get some spring games all over the area. A little Monday night football tonight up in Kingsland in Southeast Georgia. Brent Martineau, as mentioned, will be swinging by the home of the Camden County Wildcats to check out one of the cooler stadiums we have in the area. That place on a Friday night gets a good 8,000-9,000 people out there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They love their football in Southeast Georgia now. You talk about there, you talk about Ware County, the Gators up there, and Waycross. That's a really cool stadium, too. It's an old baseball stadium that they turned into the football stadium.
Interesting.
So part of it kind of has like the backstop with a little turn to it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's interesting. Memorial Stadium in Waycross. So, yeah, a lot of high school football here coming up over the next few weeks. Just these spring games. Good chance to kind of let these rosters see what they've got coming up for the upcoming year. And those games are just about every single night. Creekside plays tomorrow. Brent would probably tell you this at some point. You know, Creekside Sports Network and all.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
That we are. They're going to be over at Baker County. But some good ones here on the horizon. I mean, Thursday night, Fleming Island's going to be at Mandarin, St. Aug and Bishop Kenny. I feel like they play every year in the spring. Trinity Christian at Fletcher on Thursday night. That'll be a good one down at the beach. Got to go check that out. Good games all over the area. Bartram Trail Friday night going to play at Columbia. And by the way, speaking of Columbia, they too have a baseball game tonight in the regionals, the Elite Eight, trying to get to the Final Four. So we'll have those highlights coming up tonight on Action Sports Jax. Our friends in Gainesville going to go shoot that game for us in Lake City as the Columbia Tigers look to advance to the Final Four. So we're just all over the place in spring sports and even a fall sport, you know, acting like a spring sport in spring football. And by the way, shout out to all the track and field state champions over the weekend. It's always such a tough thing for us to cover because, I mean, there are literally dozens of local student athletes on boys and girls sides who've won state championships here over the weekend, and it's just impossible to get to all of them. So as a former track and field athlete who never sniffed a state meet, I would like to say a big congratulations to everyone who not only won, but stood on that podium by the end of the state meet and had a chance to go represent your school and yourself. So congratulations to all the track and field athletes. Field just as important as track.
Absolutely, and well done for you to mention that. Let me ask you a couple of things about high school football that I at least have questions on. I know you have the answers for.
Is it about the concession stands?
Oh,
when does season 2 of Casey's Concessions make its drop?
Hey, man, coming to a live streaming radio/video program near you in the fall.
Love it.
But let me ask you this. So the first one is, the reason I know this is Bobby Ramsey. I interviewed him when I was in college. I know he's no longer the coach at Mandarin.
Correct.
First of all, the first part of the question is, where is Bobby Ramsey now?
Yeah.
Who now coaches Mandarin? And then the third question is, the follow-up, I guess, would be, what other coaching changes are there in the area?
There's been a lot of coaching changes in the area, so I'll focus on the Bobby Ramsey portion of that question. And he's going to Impact Christian. So this was a team that had been playing 8-man football. They're taking the jump up to 11-man football, and this will be their first year playing, the full size, full field, 11-man football. And Bobby Ramsey, this is a different challenge for him, right? You're talking about building this program from scratch and doing it in an area that has some really successful private school programs when you consider what Trinity Christian, Bowles, University Christian, all these teams in Duval County have been able to do. Well, you can kind of envision that for your school. So if you're Impact Christian, a team that's still relatively new and has had some success in the basketball arena, trying to make that splash on the football field by bringing in Bobby Ramsey, a guy who has coached a Heisman Trophy winner, a guy who has coached a Mr. Football in the state of Florida. Of course, talking about, that Derrick Henry guy.
Oh, yeah. Heard of him.
Heard of him. Carson Beck.
Also heard of him.
Quarterback on the University of Georgia roster. So he has certainly had his share of talented players come through his programs, and now he'll attempt to do that with Impact Christian. They had their spring game just this past last week, and so they will start to turn an eye towards the fall, and we'll, of course, have them on the Friday Night Blitz. I haven't said Friday Night Blitz in a while.
Uh-oh.
It's been months since I've said that out loud.
Thankfully.
So, hey, excited about a new season. Brent Martineau's excited about it. I know that.
Absolutely. We're ready. We're getting fired up. By the way, speaking of, our buddy Kevin Sullivan getting the field named after him on Friday. How about that at Jackson High School? So on Main Street. And I know a lot of folks in the area know Sully, and he is an analyst for us during the high school football season, but knows everybody. So if you hadn't heard that might be a cool thing to go over to. I think, Stuart, it's about 5:30 on Friday evening before they play their spring game, which starts at 6 o'clock. So that'll be a special night for Sully, who's done so much. He coached football over there. He's been the AD. He's really done a heck of a lot on Main Street over there, and very well respected, as he should be.
Yeah, and of course, started the program at Atlantic Coast, helped take over at Ed White, and provides all the insight on the Friday Night Blitz as our high school football expert. So we love having him on the show. And it's great to see Coach Foy and the folks at Jackson, who are obviously coming off a great season for them, making it into the postseason, playing in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. And Coach Foy has that thing going in the right direction. By the way, Coach Foy made an appearance on Saturday night's edition of Action Sports Jax Primetime. I don't know if you saw it, but of course, Devin Wilson, star wideout, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Sharks / offensive coordinator for the Andrew Jackson Tigers, making a terrific over-the-wall catch for a touchdown, captured by yours truly, and then snap the camera over to the stands, and sure enough, there's his number one cheerleader, Coach Foy, holding up the sign saying, "Go Coach, go Coach Dev."
That's awesome.
It was
really
cool.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild that he's playing both, doing both. And,
by the way, Coach Foy's son was standing right next to me because he was doing the ball boy duties down in the arena.
Okay, Sharks won pretty big, too, by the way.
Yeah, 49-20 over the Columbus Lions, a team that beat them in the season opener. Bittersweet because the head coach of the Columbus Lions, good friend of mine, Jason Gibson, from my last market when I worked in Columbus, he has been a arena football coaching legend there. I mean, he's led that team for over 15 years through many different leagues and does a lot for the community up there. So good little rivalry between Jacksonville and Columbus in the National Arena League.
All right. Hey, Clay Harbor helping produce the show today. I saw this tweet, guys. PFF, he said, did their offseason grade today, gave the Jags a C+, which is only better than 6 other teams. So, and he even said, if you include the head coaching change, I think the Jags improved as much as any other franchise this offseason. And I was a little surprised by that, too. Are you guys surprised the C+ for all the moves, all the money spent, and what they got early in the draft? I know there's not a lot late in the draft to get super excited about, but, I mean, from a grade standpoint, not like it doesn't matter. They have to show it on the field even if they got an A+. But if you're only catching up to 6 teams, that's a start. But that ain't good enough here in Jacksonville. They've got to make some hay, especially if you're going to go pay $175 million, and you've got a first overall pick, and you've got numerous picks in the top 3 rounds. So, like, again, a grade's a grade. Point being is your offseason moves at the end of 2022 have to look better than more than 6 teams in the NFL.
So are you telling me someone is trying to hand out some offseason championships, like a legitimate, hey, these are the best things that you did in every part of the offseason? Because the Jags for years have been hailed as offseason champions of the world.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people have been excited about it, even the draft, right? So that was kind of what I was like. I actually said this to some folks. I was like, I'm actually more I like this better than everybody's complaining or doesn't love it nationally.
Sunshine and rainbows, sure.
Because I've been around here long enough to know that all the off seasons that people have loved, the national folks included, hey, they're going to turn it, hasn't panned out. So maybe this one goes a little bit more under the radar. But the bottom line is it doesn't matter what people give you grades to talk. Like, we can all say, hey, I thought it was better, it wasn't better. But the reality of the situation is, like, we did this. We're going to talk a little bit about the schedule later, but here's a little bit of a barometer test. The Jags play the Texans twice, the Jets, the Lions, and maybe that was it. I was thinking Houston twice, the Lions, and the Jets. I feel like there was one other team in there. But let's just no, that's it.
The Giants.
Giants. There you go. So the Giants. So take those 5 games, because it's 4 teams, but it's 5 games. Well, by the end of this year, you hope the Jags are moving ahead of all those teams. That's why I think the Jets game's so big, because that's a parallel line with Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence and rebuilding and new coaches and
they won that
all
one
this
last
stuff.
year. Yeah.
And they won last year, and I'm not sure. It was such a weird year, and with Urban and stuff. Like, I'm not going to black mark them too much for that, but I don't want them losing 2 in a row, and I don't want Zach Wilson looking really good on that Thursday night game and Trevor not looking good. So that's my point. But the whole thing is you're in a parallel line with a bunch of those teams, the bottom feeders. Your job is to escape them, right? You have to try over the next year, maybe it takes 2, to separate from them, because the only way you're going to gain on Houston, Indianapolis and Tennessee and the rest of the league is to separate from those bottom feeder teams. Now, maybe a couple come with you. Maybe the Jets are good as well. But there's not a great chance that the Detroit Lions, the Giants, the Jets, the Jags, and Houston all over the next 3 years are good. So you better be able to separate from that. And so that's what I think is pretty interesting about like a grade like that, where they're saying, hey, the Jags really, and we know the Jets probably got a better grade because everybody loved their draft. And so the Jags have to be better, guys, when you're comparing to the bottom. They have to start separating.
So here's the thing. Much like any student who wants to get into broadcasting, the grades don't matter. These are important things to realize for the future. Grades don't matter. No, I'm kidding. Sort of. Just a little bit. But, hey, I mean, you look at what the Bengals did. I mean, going from that number 1 overall pick, finding a way up into the 20s when it comes to power rankings the next year, and then making their way all the way to the Super Bowl. So, you see the blueprint out there. You hope that the Jaguars can find some sort of blueprint of their own and maybe get ranked like 23rd in the power rankings by the end of the year. How's 23rd sound? 23rd sounds pretty good.
Well, 23rd would be like the 12th pick. Like if the Jags are picking 12 or 11 or 13 or 4, like, to be honest with you, that is better.
Yeah.
Like, that is growth. Like, you don't want to be picking top 5, and quite frankly, I don't think you want to be picking top 10. Can you get out of the top 10? And I actually think that might be a step of growth. I mean, it seems crazy, but I think it might be. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Acura models. Get insanely low lease payments and huge financing deals on award-winning luxury sedans and SUVs. Now's the time. Shop FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-onefcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
You got to be tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain. Well, listen carefully, because now there are new treatments available. Not talking surgery And we're not talking steroids. These are regenerative treatments from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is the leader in these exciting biologic therapies that help restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints with lasting results. If you've got pain in your knees, your shoulders, hip, or back, joint pain that just won't go away, you need to check out these new treatments with astonishing patient satisfaction reports. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522. You need to learn more about how biologic therapies are changing the way we think about dealing with joint pain. It's exciting stuff, so don't wait. Call today, QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522.
Today, they protect your pets from getting bitten by bugs. But are some flea collars making pets sick instead?
Seizures and dead. It's just heartbreaking.
Action News Jax investigates.
We were getting a huge number of complaints. I mean, we were getting over 86,000 incidents.
We reveal what to look for in a flea collar and the alternatives to keeping your pet safe. Today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Action News Jax.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
You don't have to be an unbelievable golfer to have a favorite round of golf. Your Dream 18. Maybe it's the people you were with, the place you played, the situation you were in. Give us your Dream 18 at hashtag Dream 18 and tune in Wednesdays to a new show, The Dream 18 Show, 2 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Do not buy those tickets, because once again, you're going to be disappointed by the reigning, defending, two-time Stanley Cup champions of the world, Tampa Bay Lightning. You blew it. You guys blew it. You just didn't get it done in Tampa when you had to get it done. The Lightning do not lose Game 7. All of the pressure is on one man named Jack Campbell, and he's not ready for the pressure. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, I don't care who comes out on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They will not get it done. They will fold, and the Lightning will move on and disappoint the Toronto Maple Leafs yet again in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
Well, that aged well.
Yeah, I guess so. That's I like the selfish ambition we like in our Action Sports Jax department. That's cool that you pulled your own take producing this show. I like that.
I'm going to keep it honest with you, Brent. If I don't pull it, nobody else is going to.
That's true, but I like that.
Yeah, listen, I think it's fair. When you're right, you got to call it out, and when you're wrong, you also got to call it out, but definitely on a lower scale, right? You don't play it as a rejoiner. Maybe slide it in the middle of a segment when there's only a couple seconds left.
Or let Middleton do that at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, he'll get after me. Yeah, he won't pull that because I was right, but it's pretty straightforward. I said, if you missed the context of that, I said there's no chance that Toronto, they had to win one of two games, 6 or 7. I said you have to win Game 6 because the Lightning are not losing Game 7. You have championship pedigree. They're not losing Game 7. They're not scared to play on the road in Game 7. And Toronto didn't get it done. So I knew it was going to happen when they didn't win Game 6, and look what happened.
The NHL playoffs, I'm saying right now, are so good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So good. So why don't I watch it more?
Yeah, it's a great question because I can't really come up with an answer for you, right? So I'm a Lightning fan, so I'm obviously locked in there. Stayed up past midnight watching Calgary and Dallas last night. No problem for me watching. Edmonton, locked in, best player in the league. Have to watch that. Rangers series had everything you needed, a little drama. Sydney was hurt, so everything going on in that series. I don't know why you can't get locked into it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, listen, some of it's just schedule and whatever, but. And again, I said this earlier in the show, I flipped it on. I saw it was like 3-2, the Rangers game, and so I was like, shoot, I'm back like I was back in the office after I went over to the J-Fund stuff, and so I'm flipping it on. So there's a reason why I wasn't watching it front to back because I wasn't there. I wasn't anywhere to watch it. But I got to be honest with you, like it wasn't like I was checking every, if there's something I really want to watch, I'll at least keep up with the score, right? Or I'll watch on social media or, at least stay tuned. I wasn't until I got back, and then I was like, hey, I wonder what's going on in the hockey game, or I saw somebody tweet about it. I was like, I got to put this on. And I didn't stay up and watch Calgary. I checked it out this morning, though, because I saw it everywhere, and it was great. I mean, the scene in Calgary was unbelievable.
Yeah.
After, like, whatever they call their Deer District or whatever.
Yeah.
Outside. So, but again, like I said this last week on the show. I said it last night on TV again. There are, like, 3 guaranteed things in sports like around hockey. Playoff hockey is unbelievable. Game 7 hockey is even more unbelievable. And handshake lines are the best. Yeah. And, like, they're not debatable. Like, it's all good. Yet, I know that. I've watched plenty of playoff hockey. I've watched plenty of sports. Yet, I can't get myself to just sit there and lock in. I think some of it might be because I'm not a fan of anybody anymore. Like, I was a fan of the Bruins as a kid. I watched the Bruins and Celtics, like, every night. But then I lost touch with that, and I mean, sure, if you asked me to pick a team, I'd take the Bruins, but I could probably name 7 people on the Bruins. Like, that's how much I don't watch them. So, and I'm not a fake fan. Like, I don't do that.
I appreciate that.
So I just keep it real. Like, there's no reason for me to know all that stuff about the Bruins. I have to know more about, like, a local high school team than I have to know about the Bruins.
That's true.
And so, it's interesting, but it's fascinating psychology to me. And it almost goes back to all this conversation I've had over the years of, like, I'm just maybe not as big a sports fan as I once was. Well, that's for sure. But when you cover it and I guess do it, maybe I'm a little different in that realm because we're covering it. We're doing all this stuff. We're running around. We're getting high school stuff or we're getting college stuff or we're just not there to be in front of the TV all the time, maybe the way I would be if I wasn't in the business. And then I'd be more like Ty, and I'd be locked in on my couch and flipping back and forth because that's what he does.
So
that's
he was
what I
locked
used to
into
do.
hockey.
He was.
Good kid.
Yeah, like he'll
Raised
text
him
me.
right,
He'll be like, this game's unbelievable. The thing about Ty, which is crazy, is like he thinks whatever he's watching, I'm watching. Like, so he thinks anytime he changes the remote, the channel, he changed the channel, like it's like in my world, like I'm doing the same thing. It's a fascinating. He's done it forever. He's like, did you see that play? I'm like, Ty, what game are you watching and what play are you talking about?
That's fair.
But he does. He texts about like the hockey, and he was like, he's like, this is awesome, like blah 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 blah. And again, the only thing he probably said this morning was Game 6, May 27th, Friday night, and he knew we were going to probably be in Tampa. And he is kind of a Lightning fan. Like he's a
good kid,
not a diehard, but he's seen the Lightning do well, right? So he's kind of jumped on that train. He's also a Rays fan, and
kid.
So maybe we go over there. And by the way, if we go to the game, I'd enjoy it. It'd be great. I just don't find myself watching it on a nightly basis. Like I actually watch more of the Grizzlies and Warriors series and maybe even more of the Bucks-Celtics series than I did in the hockey. And by the way, you can make the case the hockey was more entertaining and better to watch.
It definitely was. I mean, yeah, here's the thing about hockey that is kind of I can't figure out. So people don't like baseball because it's boring. There's like downtime. That's fair. Granted, there's downtime in football, and more than we really want to talk about, but there's downtime in football. So that's kind of a tough argument to make with the boring part of it in baseball, but nonetheless, we'll just kind of clump it all together. There's not much downtime in hockey. Things are happening all the time. So, like, I think, and not taking a shot at you, but, like, if you get it on, I think you're staying. Like, I think people just have a hard time getting it on the TV when, like, something like the NBA or obviously, like, or for you, maybe Sunday Night Baseball. Obviously, if football was on, there's probably no contest there. But I think once people get hockey on, it's very difficult to leave.
All right, I'm gonna give you a couple other reasons, okay? I think maybe the case, and maybe people bounce around. One, we now know. It's almost like an NBA game where you can tune into the last 10 minutes of most NBA games unless it's like the Suns last night where they're down by 42.
Right.
And you know, like, I'm probably going to get a good finish, right? That's the way the NBA's works.
True.
In playoff hockey, you know you could watch like the first period, the second period, it'll be good, but there's nothing like watching the last 10 minutes in overtime. And so it's like, I'm so used to that now, so tune me in when that comes because I want to see that good stuff. This is good, but I want to see the great stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think we flip and we lose a little bit of viewing habits because of the lengthy intermissions. Like
that is true.
It's like a collegiate halftime every time in between periods.
Yeah.
And so we start watching something else, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to go back. And, again, if you're not a diehard fan of a team, then you're not, like, trained to be like, oh, I got to go back. I mean, you might then join that second period or third period after 7 minutes have gone by. And I think the last thing about hockey is we still – like, hockey's fantastic. It's exciting. There's so much stuff. But it's still hard to follow that dang puck and see it all the time. And that's not me, by the way. But I'm just saying, like a casual observer, you don't know where the heck the thing is. Even on the winning shot from the Rangers, I needed 7 replays to find out where that puck went, which, by the way, was an unbelievable shot. Yeah. I have no idea how it got through, and now I know why the goalie didn't see it because neither did anybody else.
Yeah. When it first happened and he's just, like, sitting there and, like, trying to figure out how he didn't catch it, I'm like, what are you doing? Make a play. And then, like, you see it, and there's no, like, opening at all. It's like, oh, I get it. I understand now. It's crazy.
So, again, it's not like I think some of those reasons may work, and they're probably different for each person. But man, it's good. And I will watch it. I just probably won't watch it from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 8 to 11. Might be more apt to go catch like the late Calgary game.
Which went into overtime, by the way. But,
yeah, I know.
Anyway, real quick before we go to break, breaking news. Chelsea will get in a Champions League spot. They will finish in the top 4 of the Premier League, just so you know, Brent.
No, very good. Thanks
all
for
good.
updating
All good on the Champions League front for Chelsea. They will be in it next year.
Now you guys can really settle in that you know that. Everybody listening to ESPN 690, and we can come back with football at 5. Hear from Tom Coughlin, what he had to say about Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. And I have some scheduled questions from leftovers that we didn't get to. We got that coming up. Football at 5 on ESPN 690. We're live at Charlton County High School here on a Monday afternoon.
Boss, it came!
Oh, no. What'd you spend money on now?
Well, you know all the houses with safe touch security systems out there that have video surveillance?
Yeah?
Well, what better way to not be seen on video? Behold, camouflage jumpsuits!
You did what?
Yeah, small for you and XXX for me.
Wait, explain to me how camouflage is gonna get us past Safe Touch's crash and smash protection, the two-way communicator, the rapid response time.
Boss, I'm not worried about getting into a Safe Touch house. This is just in case we have to pass one on our way to another house.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because, you know, we gotta stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. You know, I look good in green.
When you choose Safe Touch, you get so much more than an alarm system. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. All this personalized service starting as low as $1 a day.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Mr. and Mrs. Flavor, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. I'm Barry, the flavor of berry.
I'm Janet. I'm bitter.
And I understand your son is the flavor menthol?
Yes, he's the menthol in a menthol cigarette.
He's such a disappointment. Out there getting people addicted, being used by big tobacco to target black people. He could have been a lozenge.
Menthol cigarettes are harder to quit than regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
This is Paul Gray, founder of Gray Matter Distillery, inviting you to check out the new home of Jacksonville's first craft distillery in beautiful Atlantic Beach. Since 2014, we have been the proud distillers of such iconic local spirits as Carr Vodka and Live Oak Whiskey. In our new distillery, you can enjoy one of our handcrafted cocktails made using only the freshest ingredients for only $8 a drink. Enjoy cocktails, sample small batches of vodka or whiskey, or take a bottle home. Pick up your very own Gray Matter Distillery shot glass for free when you mention this ad. Come see us this weekend, and remember to please drink responsibly.
It's the Summer Starts Here event with hot savings even on used, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. With over 400 used on the lot, all makes and models, you're going to start your summer off right with Arlington. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Start your summer with a great car, truck, SUV, or a minivan for that family vacation. It's the Summer Starts Here event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
22 civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. NBA Celtics guard Marcus Smart questionable for Game 1 of the East Finals tomorrow against the Heat with a foot sprain. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Smart underwent an MRI today. The imaging returned clean. Boston only needs Smart to be at about 50% to win the series, believes ESPN's Kendrick Perkins.
Talk about the emergence of Jason Tatum, right? He's become the best two-way player in the game today. And the way that he's defending, we know that he could get buckets. The way that Jaylen Brown is doing his thing, always been a two-way defender. And the way that Ime Udoka's system is set up, it's kind of like plug and replace, next man up. And it's not taking Marcus Smart for granted.
Boston Miami Game 1 tomorrow, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. NHL, the Golden Knights fired coach Pete DeBoer. The Golden Knights missed the playoffs for the first time after a barrage of injuries and salary cap issues.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 with the ESPN 690 payroll payout.
Text the word sleep to the number 70123 before 15 past the hour. That's SLEEP.
Your next chance to win is coming again tomorrow at 8 a.m. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. Get the complete rules now at ESPN690.com. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Hey, welcome back. We're up here in Southeast Georgia, Charlton County High School, for a little Final Four baseball in Georgia. So we've got a lot of baseball going on in Florida. They're trying to get to the Final Four tomorrow. The teams like Bishop Kenny playing Sewanee, and Bartram Trails playing Haggerty. St. John's Country Days playing North Florida Christian. Who am I leaving out? Fernandina Beach, I think, is playing the Villages, and they're a Cinderella there. They're the 8th
Villages,
seed.
Huh?
Yeah.
They got people that aren't old?
That's a good. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that either, really, until recently. I've seen him now in a couple different sports, but
go get him. Somebody's grandson. Go get him.
But Fernandina Beach, nice Cinderella story because they are the 8th seed, but the Village is like a 7th seed in that region. So that thing was wide open, and so we have several teams. I don't think I missed one. Oh, tonight, Columbia, by the way. So those are all regional finals. They do it different there in Florida, where they'll go then to the Final Four after down in Fort Myers, and it's just a single game, semifinal, and then a championship game. Well, around here, they do it right, quite frankly. And there's going to be a push for them to do it in Florida as well. But they play a best-of-3 series here in the Final Four, and I think they do it even previously in the earlier rounds of the playoffs. But that's what we got tonight. Game 1 right now. Game in Charlton County leads Social Circle, which is, I guess, on the other side of Atlanta, I found out. 1-0, and we are going to the bottom of the 5th, so we're cruising along here. And then they'll play Game 2 right after this one, and then, if necessary, Game 3 tomorrow. So that's how it works, and they'll do the same thing for the state championship as well. So that's what's going on, and we heard somebody wrote in and asked us or told us about this last week. So I said, let's come up here. We've got Camden County football playing their spring game as well. So we'll pop down the road and then maybe even come back for a little more ball. We'll have some of the highlights tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30. But as you know, we like getting out and about. Still not sure where I'm going tomorrow. I should do like viewer's choice. Maybe I'll do a poll.
Do a poll. Because as far as I understand it, it's anywhere but here.
Tomorrow, definitely, because there's a lot of softball going on tomorrow as well. But they're not in the – I'll probably go to a baseball. There's only 2 home. It's St. John's Country Day, which I went to Saturday night. Bartram, I went to Friday night. I get a lot of stuff from other people when I go to, like, the same schools.
Yeah.
I have to explain. I'm just going to cover them.
Well, here's the thing. You can't really put up a poll then because I imagine you'll end up at Bartram if you put up a poll.
But because more people will vote?
Yeah, it seems like every time you tweet about Bartram, like, people are in your replies, and I don't know about your DMs. I can't see those. And mostly because, the connection isn't great. I don't really need that on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying,
Well, I
Brent?
found where the connection's good, though. I found where it's better. But you're not. But actually, St. John's Country Day is not the best either. I've thought of that. We're getting lucky out here in Charlton County. We rolled the dice. We had no idea.
It's been smooth.
Yeah, it's been good. Knock on wood. It's been good. I will say, like, here's the thing about Bartram. It's like I got to be careful how much I go to Bartram, man. I'm a Creekside guy.
No, you are, for sure.
I know a lot of the people are Bartram, but I got to be careful. That's Bachman territory. If he wants to go live from down there like every day, that's fine. I always actually love the people be like, man, you're down at Bartram a bunch. You're like, you think I want to be down at Bartram?
There you go.
I'm just kidding with them, and as they know, good people in the baseball community. So good luck to all the teams as they try to get to the Final Four. And then softball as well as they advance into the regional semis tomorrow, and there's a ton of teams that are alive as well. Let's talk football here on the show. Football at 5 is what we call it. Brent Martineau and Casey Kurtz. We appreciate Stuart jumping in and out, too, so I could get some highlights along the way of this baseball game, which also is cruising along later in the innings. I want to talk schedule in a moment, but let's start with Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, and Tom Coughlin. I think you do have that sound. We got Tom Coughlin last night at the J Fun dinner. Today is the golf tournament over there at TPC Sawgrass. And Casey, it's a pretty lengthy answer about Peterson and Trevor, but it's certainly one that you feel like the former head coach in the NFL, former Super Bowl coach, the former Jags coach, former Giants coach, the former EVP of the Jacksonville Jaguars, certainly has endorsed this Peterson move. He likes the Peterson move, and you can tell he likes Trevor as well. Listen to his response when he's talking about Trevor Lawrence going into year 2 and Doug Peterson year 1 with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, I think, first of all, Trevor's going to grow from his experiences. He's a very talented young man. He took some things on the chin last year, which they all do. There's no rookie in the world that goes out there and all you got to do is look at Peyton Manning and or Eli, for that matter, with us. But so he's going to learn tremendously. And that growth from year 1 to year 2, that is huge. But Doug, being a quarterback, having played the position, having been in the league for a long time, having coached in the league, having been with Andy Reid, have been groomed by Andy Reid, that's extremely helpful. Doug's been on the winning end of the Super Bowl. And so he brings all that to the table. And quite frankly, I think that the community has welcomed Doug in, and I think, we're not going to make expectations Mount Everest. We're going to be a little bit more sensible about that, I hope, and look for progress. But I think it'll happen.
So that's Tom Coughlin, and I thought there were some interesting things. Obviously, Trevor, he brings up Eli and Peyton, right, and says year two, listen, he's going to take a jump. He thinks he can take a jump. He'll get better. And we talked about this last week, I think, on the show, right? The 5 worst quarterbacks rookie years.
Yes.
And 4 of those 5 were end up being terrific quarterbacks. Ryan Leaf, the only exception, but there was John Elway in there. There was Eli Manning in there. I forget who else was in there, but there were 4 really strong. I think Terry Bradshaw, by the way, was one of the other 2. And so I think Tom agrees. Hey, be patient here. The other thing he said be patient about is Peterson. It's don't have the sights of Mount Everest in year 1. Because he's been to Mount Everest. He's won the Super Bowl. But progress. It's about progress. And can he start to flip this? Just echoed what we basically talked about when we look at the draft next year. Are the Jags picking 12, 13, 14? That's okay, actually. Sure, you'd want them picking 24 if you had your pick. You really want them picking 32 someday. But this year, if they turn around where you're picking 12, 13, 14 instead of 7 or 3 or, golly, 1, that is progress, and that's really what Doug is here to do. He's got to fix a lot of things, and they have to get a lot better. And I think I like what Coughlin said about that. And you can tell, Casey, you could hear it. Coughlin has a confidence in Peterson, and I think part of the confidence in Peterson was the fraternity of NFL coaches know what a disaster last year was with Urban Meyer.
Yeah. No,
I mean, that's really what I think what stems with some of the confidence. At least you don't have that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that same vibe as well, that he does trust him, and he understands, like he said it in there, he understands that Trevor needs a guy like Doug Peterson, and that can't really be overshadowed, I guess you could say. But yeah, I like the idea that Tom Coughlin's on board. I know last time he was on board for some stuff, it didn't go super well around here, but you got to understand that Tom Coughlin knows what he's talking about when it comes to football, and I like the idea that he likes the idea of Doug Peterson, I guess I should say.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about the schedule. I have some schedule questions in a moment, but I thought that was good stuff with Tom that we had last night on CBS 47, Fox 30, and today on ESPN 690. Let's get Captain Rick Riles in right now, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Captain Rick, give us a good report on the water, will you?
My mission will better than it right now. Just I tried that to put it in the water and.
Hey Casey, let's try to see if we can bring Captain Rick back in a moment. That's obviously breaking up in a pretty big way. See if he can buzz back in. I'm not sure if he's out on the water, but I'm going to pull the plug on that one, Captain Rick. It was really hard to hear. So, and I don't think it was just me. So hopefully Captain Rick will get back with us, and we'll hear from him in just a moment coming up again. Let's talk schedule before we maybe hear from Captain Rick again. I have a couple of leftover things on the schedule. Again, a little piggyback off some of the things that we did on TV this weekend I think are really fun if you missed it. If I give you – take a look at the schedule, Casey, and if I give you the hardest part of the schedule, and you might have to call it up if you don't have it memorized just yet, but what is the hardest part of the Jags schedule? What's the most challenging part? Is it early? Is it the Chargers, Philadelphia – Indianapolis is in that mix. I know everybody thinks it's like a gimme win now, and I understand the mentality there, but it's really not. I mean, Indianapolis might be the best team in the AFC South. This is that 3-game stretch. I tend to believe it's down the road a little bit where you've got Denver, you've got the Raiders, you've got Kansas City, and even after the bye week, you have Baltimore. I think the teams are good, and the quarterback row there, whoop! Russell Wilson, Derek Carr's obviously turned himself into a good player, Patrick Mahomes, and then Lamar Jackson. That's a tough stretch, Casey. I mean, which one do you think is more difficult? On the road at L.A., on the road at Philly, a little Indianapolis mixed in there, or that one that I just pulled out?
Yeah, it's that one for me because I hate not having to buy after London. And I think first of all, you have to win that Giants game now, in my opinion, because then you go to London, and then you play the Raiders, and then you go to Kansas City. And even after the bye, to your point, I think the Ravens are going to be really good because Lamar Jackson's that dude when he's healthy. So, yeah, I think that's the toughest part of the schedule by far. Absolutely hate that there's no bye there. I think the Raiders are a team that obviously they're going to be good, but I don't think anybody believes you can't beat the Raiders. They are gettable, but I think in the situation sandwiched between the Chiefs on the road and coming back from London, I hate that part of the schedule for the Jags.
All right, we'll go to the easiest part in the or the biggest game to watch, and I think there's a couple of different ways to go there in just a moment. I think we have Captain Rick back. Let's see if we can get him a little more clear on the Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Hey, Captain Rick.
Francis, please tell me that's better. I got to give you this report.
Yeah, it sounds good now, man.
Okay, good. I can promise you the mahi fishing is not going to get any better because it can't. I can't believe it. My good friend Will Myers left the dock this morning with a cooler full of bait at 6:30 in the morning. By noon, he was home. His fish box completely topped off with big mahi. He had run out of bait. So it is just fantastic. Several blue marlin caught over the weekend. Danny Ledford, I know, caught one. My buddy Jay Cobb on the Full of Bull caught one. There were a few more caught. Blue water fishing is really going off, and it looks like we got a couple of days of very good weather ahead. So that's great news. I know I'll be out there. Inshore, an insane flounder bite. I don't know what the deal is with the flounder. Normally our numbers are pretty good this time of the year, but we don't see one like was caught at the ferry slip this week. 13 pounds, that's a big flounder. But they've been scattered all over from Mill Cove out through the end of the jetties. Trout are fair. There's been some big ones. I know of some 6 and 7 pounders caught on Saturday. Reds are good. I got to tell you, this is the week. Take the week off, Brent, and go fishing if you can. One thing you can count on, I'll be checking in with you tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday afternoon. I hope I make it back to shore in time to check in because I'm going mahi fishing. Now's the time to do it. We'll be back with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing and CSS Landscaping. Thank you, Brent.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. Have a good day on the water tomorrow. It's nice to hear, by the way, that we got a good report out there and some fun fishing this week because we've had some tumultuous times on the water, it seems, for the better part of the last few months. Brent Martin, Casey Kurtz. We call it Football at 5. NFL schedule was released last Thursday. We talked a lot about it on Friday, but we had some leftovers. We just talked about the hardest part of the schedule. What about the easiest part of the schedule? Where do you see it, Casey? Is it the first 2 games? I mean, can you characterize that? I mean, 2 games isn't really much of a stretch. Where do you see some maybe where do you see a possible win streak for the Jags?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I see those first 2 games because if you look at the other games on the schedule that you think are winnable, with Detroit sandwiched between the Ravens at home and then going to Tennessee, so you can't really feel like that's easy. Dallas is a team that obviously on paper they're a lot better than Jacksonville, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to Dallas. They lose games they're supposed to win often. So I'm not going to say Dallas is an easy game, but you have that stretch of Dallas at the Jets and then at Houston at the end of the season and then really Tennessee at home. Not that that's very easy, but that's more favorable than like the London stretch we talked about. And then I guess depending on how you feel about the Colts at home, that Texans then going, or Colts on the road, I should say, then going to Indy, coming back for the Giants seems favorable. But to me, I really like that Washington, Indy, Chargers are obviously going to be tough, and I believe that Doug Peterson's going to have them beat the Eagles. I don't know how or why, but I believe it to be the case. So for me to believe that, I think 3 of those four games you might end up with wins. So I feel like that might be the easiest part of the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you might have to look all the way to the end of the year with the Jets, the Texans, and then maybe the Titans. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, that's a possible, little winning streak there. I do think you could take – I think, the Eagles even are a game where I think will be – they're not unbeatable.
No.
They're better, but they're not unbeatable. And I know you like that probably more than me. I mean, I still think the Eagles are significantly better at the moment. The Texans and then the Colts, although the Colts one is on the road, certainly gettable. Then the Giants, it's like almost you said, you might have to win. And the Broncos, a game in London where the Jags at times do play well. So, there's 5 games in there where if the Jags could roll off 3 wins, 4 wins, again, I know that's a big if. But we're asking the question, where's the win streak? Where's the softer part of the schedule? And I really think it's just like the Texans, the Colts, and the Giants. But even if you bookend those with the Eagles and Broncos, I don't look at those as unbeatable teams. I think you could play well and beat them, and especially given the London thing, which is always a weird game to predict how they're going to play. So I think there's a softer spot. Definitely opposed to where you play in the AFC West, like right in a row. Again, that Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs into the Ravens after the bye. That's a really difficult stretch. So we'll see what happens there. Last one for you on the schedule. Game that, like, you look forward to the most, that you can't wait to see. Yeah. I mean, like, listen, Kansas City or the Cowboys might be a great opponent, but I'm not sure I really want to see the Jags play them. You know?
True.
So the context of it is like you can't wait to see X game. Which one would it be?
So I'm only going to say this in terms of maybe an in-person experience, I guess you could say. And it comes back to Philadelphia. I think the Philly fans are obviously an interesting thing. I'm not saying I'm going in wearing a Trevor Lawrence jersey because that might not end well for me, especially if the Jags win the game. But I think the Philly experience with the fans, obviously the Doug Peterson part of it is huge. I think that would be a game to go to and maybe play it safe on your attire, but I think the atmosphere, I think everything about that game early in the season, hopefully the weather in Philly is not super cold, but at the same time not super hot. But for me, that would be the game to attend in person if I was picking one.
That's interesting. You kind of did it a little different way. I get what you're saying there. I think there are two games that really highlight the schedule for me for the Jags that are important, and one's less important for the Jags. So I think you could actually say the Colts game in the home opener is one of the most fascinating games I think we've had here in a while. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who have won 4 games in the last 2 years, who have been really not good for over a decade, working on a dozen years and then some, are in the heads of the Indianapolis Colts. Like, I think the Colts are circling that game more than any game on their schedule. The Jaguars in Jacksonville, a place they haven't won since 2014. I mean, it sounds like almost stupidity, but I actually think that's real. If you listen to the brass talk in Indianapolis, like, I think that game is going to mean so much. And so I believe it's fascinating to see if the Jags can stay in their head. Can they beat them early? Could they potentially, if they beat Washington, get off to a 2-0 start? I think there's a lot going on there that could be fun. But in my opinion, the game that maybe matters the most in the psyche, perception, and will tell us a little bit, hopefully by this time, where the Jags are going, is that Jets game. And it's got nothing to do with it being in prime time. I really feel strongly that the Jets and the Jags right now are on this parallel line. And who's going to pull ahead? And the Jets, I said a little bit earlier in the show, but I really feel like Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, like the Jags have to have the better guy. The Jags have to be building a better roster. The Jags have to have the better coach and a Super Bowl winning coach than Robert Saleh, quite frankly. The Jags are already on coach number 2 since Saleh got there. So I think there's so much there in that game that, I mean, it's not the end-all, be-all, but it's important. It's important to show where this organization is going, and I think it's not must-win, but it kind of feels like you can't lose to the Jets 2 years in a row, and you really can't have some things happen. See, like the Jags lost to the Jets last year, but it wasn't like Zach Wilson, just kicked your butt.
He had that run, though.
He did have the run, but it didn't feel
it wasn't
right. Like you didn't leave that game and like, oh my gosh, they got the better guy, right?
No, absolutely not. And if I remember right, the Jags should have won if they kicked field goals, right? Wasn't that the storyline? They went for it on 4th down multiple times.
I think they did.
Yeah.
But they gave up like 210 rushing yards too in that game. I think.
Yeah, that too. But
but this game, like, Trevor needs to outplay Zach Wilson, and it's in prime time. So that adds to it as well. Again, this is a perception, a psyche game, of where are we going game here in Jacksonville. And it's in December, but by that time, now these guys have both played like almost 2 years in the NFL. So, like, they should be good or getting better or showing signs of it. I think that, to me, is the game. Like, it's not a divisional game, but I think it's a says-a-lot kind of game about both franchises. And, by the way, it could be a hell of a game, and it could say that both are trending in a good direction. Like, the Jags could actually lose that game and still come out and be like, okay, at least they're going in the right place. You can actually accomplish that sometimes. So I think it's a big one, and that's the one that I've got circled. Got to wait a long time for it, though. It's in December. We'll be back. Charlton County High School, that's where we're at, and they're up 3-0 now as we go into the 6th inning. So we'll see if Geiger can finish things off against Social Circle here in Game 1 of a best-of-3 series in the Georgia State Final Four up here in Southeast Georgia. We'll be right back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear skies tonight. Temperatures dropping into the 60s. Partly sunny, hot and humid tomorrow. Just an isolated afternoon storm with highs in the lower 90s. From the CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
Beards has higher quality diamonds for less money than any other store.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Boss, it came!
Oh, no. What'd you spend money on now?
Well, you know all the houses with safe touch security systems out there that have video surveillance?
Yeah?
Well, what better way to not be seen on video? Behold, camouflage jumpsuits!
You did what?
Yeah, small for you and XXX for me.
Wait, explain to me how camouflage is gonna get us past Safe Touch's crash and smash protection, the two-way communicator, the rapid response time.
Boss, I'm not worried about getting into a Safe Touch house. This is just in case we have to pass one on our way to another house.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because, you know, we got to stick to the Crooks of Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. You know, I look good in green.
When you choose Safe Touch, you get so much more than an alarm system. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our family of skilled operators is always there for you and your family.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime.
Yeah!
And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can really control your savings. Because when you drive less, you save more with pay per mile. So you're really in control of your savings. Only paying for the miles you drive. Yeah! Life is good when you're in the driver's seat. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Norfolk, Illinois.
O'Reilly. Improve your gas mileage and save money with Fuel System Cleaner from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for just $10. Plus, earn double O Rewards points and get your next reward even faster. For a clean, lubricated, more efficient fuel system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly
Auto Parts.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Granger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS Consumer Access.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Voted best gift
of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
The ESPN 690 payroll payout is here. You've got 5 chances to win $1,000 every weekday at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. Get the complete rules right now at ESPN690.com.
Hey, I know you've been checking out the housing market, and it's boomed in Northeast Florida and even up here where I am today in Southeast Georgia. It makes you think about taking advantage of the market, especially if you're selling or thinking about it. What if you could sell your home and just skip the hard parts? You can at opendoor.com. It changed so many things about the way we do almost anything in life. Well, this is the new way to sell your home, opendoor.com. Go to the website, answer a couple minutes worth of questions. Seriously, it's just 2 or 3 minutes. And they send you an offer if you're eligible. Moving next month, maybe next year, maybe you're just thinking about it. Try opendoor.com. It's easy. Skip the hassles and hurdles of listings, showings, and potential obstacles that, well, you usually run into when you're selling your home. Just sell it to Open Door. They'll deal with the rest at opendoor.com. Hundreds of thousands of homeowners are requesting offers. You can, too. Sell your home and skip the hard parts. Get your free offer at opendoor.com/myoffer. Offer eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 0206-1130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage, LLC, in its other markets. Welcome back, everybody, to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau here at Charlton County High School. Watching a little Final Four baseball, game 1, now in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Charlton County, the Indians, at home against Social Circle, now lead 4-0. They just added another one here in the bottom of the 6th. So
Nice.
trying to slam the door shut with 3 outs to go. Gant Geiger's been terrific on the mound. He's only allowed a couple of hits, and actually 3 now, and no runs. Fun story up here. I told you about Casey. Gant's a kid that played with Ty on his Cooperstown team. I knew he played up here, but we didn't know he's exactly throwing game 1. So get to see the young fella pitch a little bit. And getting it done today on the mound in game 1 of this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's Cooperstown was a minute ago, I assume, right? Because you have to be Little League. So that's a pretty cool little subplot that you didn't even really know was going to happen, but happened to happen, and he's shoving. So shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, pretty cool. Like I say, this happens like it's part of the cycle of life instead of the circle of life. It's the cycle of life. People listening now, and you have kids, and you're playing like 7U baseball or 8U or softball or flag football or whatever you're playing, and you're that little, and then you know it's coming at some point because you've heard other people say it. But like that's the stage we're in now, where like all those kids that you played with, now I'm watching them play in high school. Like I go to St. John's Country Day or Bartram Trail or Bishop Kenny this past week, and you see, well, a lot of kids that we played with or watched as little guys, or girls. So it's pretty cool. That's a fun part of it, to see all the kids, number 1, still playing, number 2, still enjoying it, and number 3, having some success along the way. So that is kind of fun. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, you had a breakfast story?
Oh, do I have a breakfast story, Brent?
Is it unfathomable? I'll help you out with that word.
Sort of, yeah, so I'll share it with you. I am a big fan of breakfast, as you know, one of my 3 favorite times of the day, but I'm not going to lie to you, Brent, I really like breakfast. It might be the best time of the day. So,
really? I hate breakfast.
See.
Hate it.
I always have wondered, like, some of the things about you, like, I wonder why he's like that. That's why. Breakfast is great. So, nonetheless, Amanda had to get her oil changed, so we took her car for the oil change, and we were on the way home. And Amanda was like, hey, let's stop at this place that we tend to get coffee and food, because I'm sure you don't want me naming names, so I'm not going to do that. So the line was rather long, so we mobile ordered. We waited. we get up to the drive-through thing. And I was like, hey, Casey mobile order, right? Okay, so I pull around. I get there. Dude hands me my 2 coffees and then says, you're going to have to come back later or tomorrow for your breakfast sandwich. And it caught me off guard. I said, what? He goes, yeah, we're short-staffed, so we don't have enough people to make the food. But you can come back tomorrow.
So he took your money?
Yeah, they took my money because I mobile ordered on the app. And I was like, so why didn't you tell me when I pulled up and said I have a mobile order and then proceeded to wait 6 more minutes before I got to the window that wasn't going to happen? And it was like I was the problem. I was like, what do you mean tomorrow? It's today. What am I supposed to do with my breakfast sandwich tomorrow?
Remember the conversation we had last week about ordering stuff online?
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's why. Because now you just feel like you got screwed.
Well, I did. Okay, the place.
But are you going back tomorrow? Are you going to go back tomorrow? And number one, how hard is it going to be able to get your sandwich tomorrow if you do go back?
Right, that's the thing. He was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll save your receipt." I'm like, until tomorrow morning, you're gonna know it's me when I pull up, and the whole thing was just so odd. But my favorite part about it was how cool and casual he was about it. He's like, maybe we'll have it tomorrow.
This is an everyday thing.
I was like, what do you mean I can come back tomorrow? It's today. I'm hungry today. And he's like, well, maybe a little bit later when more people show up. I'm like, it's 10 a.m. It's not 7. I'm not breaking down the door to get in. What is the situation here?
By the way, if that was a good place, they'll give you 2 tomorrow.
They're not going to. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
They should give you 2.
So when it happened, I'm not going to lie to you, Brent. When it happened, the plan was I was going to come on the air and trash them, right? But then I was like, nah, Brent's not going to be happy with that. And frankly, I go to this establishment a lot, but they're going strongly downhill. That's what I'll say.
It's hard to get help these days. And what I find is a lot, even in not just fast food places, but I just don't feel like people get trained up anymore. I think they just get thrown into the fire.
And that's actually a great point because I will add this. So the dude that was giving the coffee at the window, right? He probably could have been doing more because when you pull up to order, like I said, I had a mobile order, so I said that. But the lady that was taking orders was a lady, right? So I'm assuming that she was taking orders as well as making coffee, then leaving my dude to be doing nothing but handing out the drinks at the window. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, and the line was extremely long, right? So I'm sure people were arguing because they were also told to come back tomorrow for their breakfast today. But I'm just saying, when somebody, orders and you have a line, just throw it in. Because the only thing worse than taking a long time and finding out I can't get my breakfast till tomorrow, the worst thing would be I would wait and get my sandwich rather than wait and get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because either way, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, you're still waiting. What do you think, you like breakfast?
Love it.
It's not like I don't like breakfast food. I like eggs, I like bacon, I like sausage, I would eat, I probably really would eat too many McGriddles. It's one of the best things ever made.
Love the McGriddles, Brent.
McGriddle might be one of the best things ever made.
Oh, no doubt.
But I also feel like should head to the emergency room after I eat 1 or 2 of them.
I try not to think about
it. See, that's my problem with the breakfast stuff. I just don't feel good the rest of the day.
Really?
After eating the breakfast. I usually will get a stomach ache of sorts or something like that. Because, name a breakfast food that's good. That's, really good for you, you know?
Well, yeah. Eggs are kind of good for you.
Yeah, eggs are.
But yeah, I see you're saying the waffle, the pancake, the muffin, the donut, the bacon,
the syrup, the
hash brown. Yeah,
it's just not good for you. So what I do is I go and get breakfast at 1 o'clock.
I have seen you do that.
Yeah, I'll eat. We go down next to Davoli's Cafe Genovese there.
Yeah,
and we'll eat there. And I never get lunch at 1 o'clock there. I always get an omelet with bacon. And
that's right,
fries and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so you're anti-breakfast in the morning time and anti-dog. It's amazing that we ever got along.
I'm not anti-dog. That is a bad label. That is not true. I'm not anti-dog. In fact, ask Olivia. She brought her dog in yesterday. I was playing with the dog.
Aspen.
The
dog. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate that part of it. But,
It's
listen.
a dog.
Nope. See, this isn't good. This isn't good. It's not a dog. It's Aspen. The dog has a name. The dog is a part of Liv's family, just as my dog is very important to my family. Okay, so we're not going to
very important.
We're not going to sit here and say the dog. I'm not going to let that happen on my watch.
All right, hey, let's take a break. I'm going to see if I can get the last out here, and then we'll put a bow on the show.
Sounds
Heading
good.
into Action Sports Jax OT, all right?
Sounds
Can we
good.
do that?
Yeah, do your thing. Go, go, go.
All right. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
What's up? This is Brian, and if you haven't checked out Action Sports Jax Overtime yet, starting at 6 p.m., you're missing out on moments just like this.
The Jags not drafting Kayvon Thibodeau will be the worst mistake this franchise has ever made, in my opinion. This guy is a game wrecker. This guy is going to be a problem for a long time in this league. Travon Walker, the best we can hope for is he'll be the same. But I think Kayvon Thibodeau is the best player in the draft. I think every team that passes on him is making a mistake. The way I see it, this is the best player in the draft with the highest ceiling, and I think the Jags are making a mistake by not picking this man.
At Community First, our mortgage champions offer you low rates, quick closings, and no origination fees. Apply now at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. It means that when you hire us, you get a legal army. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, I'm Mike Combs, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water-using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut Water Treatment System. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
May is Maytag month, the hardest working month of the year, when you can save on hard-working Maytag performance. Like laundry pairs that make clothes think twice before getting dirty again. Refrigerators that make cold your new favorite flavor. And dishwashers that eat caked on oatmeal for breakfast.
Don't wait. Put the hardest working month of the year to work for you and save big on Maytag appliances now through June 1st. Because May is Maytag month.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe.
The NFL is going to meet with Deshaun Watson this week, and as we mentioned last week, the NFL would like to reach a decision sooner rather than later, preferably sometime this summer, to bring closure to this particular situation that's hung over Deshaun Watson, the National Football League, for quite some time. But he is scheduled to meet with NFL officials this week, and keep in mind, Field, that this will be the first case under the new collective bargaining agreement. So Roger Goodell will not make the ruling. It will come from a recommendation of Lisa Friel, Todd Jones, various NFL officials, not Roger Goodell, as it now exists under the new terms of the collective bargaining agreement with personal conduct policy cases. But that will continue to be expedited this week.
That was Schefter right there. I missed the early part. He was talking about Watson, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting story. That's an interesting little nugget there, that it's not really going through Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
So, like, is Goodell really still making the decisions behind the scenes? Is stamping approval? Like, how's that work? That's a little different. And so how does this kind of new system, as Schefter put it, work? Will be pretty fascinating. And I don't know what they can do with the Watson deal. Because he was involved with it, can they punish him too much if he wasn't found guilty of anything, or at least not yet? Like, I think that's a tricky spot for the NFL. Did you see the other story about Deshaun Watson today?
They're going on some trip, right? Team bonding? Is that
Yeah, like it said that he's bringing his offense. Is that everybody?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I think that's the squad. Receivers, tight ends, guards, center, tackles, running backs, fullback if you got one. Come on board.
Okay.
Backup QB, Baker Mayfield, slide through.
Great. That's a good question. Is Baker Mayfield invited? That'll be a fun one. I'm going to put that out there right now.
There you go.
First of all, brilliant move, right, by Deshaun. You just got paid $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Go spend whatever. Who cares? So I like the move. I will say this about Deshaun Watson. The word coming out of Watson, who by the way, has really damaged his image over the last couple of years, because he was a clean guy from an image perspective and known as a very good leader. Like, that was one of his great traits coming out of Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see this isn't that surprising. I think he was a good – I mean, heck, he drove to Jacksonville instead of flew and played with, like, a rib injury. You know, I mean, like, he's got a lot of good traits as a CEO franchise quarterback. Now, this has obviously changed a lot of things, this whole situation over the last year and a half, 2 years. And I do believe, and I'm a little bit like this, take the actual allegations and that stuff out for a moment. I think the fact that you don't want to play for a team, that always rubs me the wrong way. It's like they invested in you, and now you're asking out. There's a lot of stuff going on in Houston. I agree. I just would rather have the guy that's being loyal and would rather stay. Now, that's not always the smartest decision. So I got to caveat that a little bit, right? But I just don't love it. Before at least you give me more details on it, I'm like, yeah, I get it. But I don't love the idea of the best player, the guy you've invested a lot in, you've tried to build around, and he's like, I want out. And that happened before all the other allegation stuff. So that never sits well, I think, with people in general. And then you get the other stuff on top of it. But brilliant move by Deshaun Watson. What I was really asking or thinking about, I mean, is that putting a little bit of pressure on a lot of quarterbacks now in the league? Like, quarterback situation, running back situation used to buy your offensive line stuff. Like last year, at the end of the year, I saw Trevor Lawrence in the offensive line at Topgolf. And Trevor was there. We were doing one of our last shows, and I heard he was there, so I actually went down and just was observing a little bit. But he was there, and he actually had a golf manufacturer there to fit all the offensive linemen with clubs.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So, like, I don't even know if that's ever come out, but, like, I saw that.
I've never heard it until right now.
And so that was, like, but that's not, like, uncommon. Running backs usually get their guys a watch or something like that on the offensive line. Like, that's part of it. It's a cool part. I think around Christmas time, sometimes the team rooms will get each other gifts or do a Secret Santa or whatever it is. But I just wonder now, like, did Deshaun Watson just change the game for quarterbacks? Like, do they have to do something bigger than golf clubs in an afternoon at Topgolf?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I would say no, because I think this is a weird situation, right? Everything that you just said, I'm not going to re-say, but it's all there. So I think it's fair to assume that not every player on the Cleveland Browns, when they said they were getting Deshaun Watson, was like, oh, great, we have an A-plus guy coming in here to lead our team. So I think there's fair that some of those guys might have been skeptical. And then you got to consider the fact that, was Baker Mayfield very good? Not really. Not last year. But he played hurt, and all of his teammates knew it. So they probably have a respect for Baker Mayfield that a lot of us do not, that he was trying to win games for them while he was injured, and everyone knew he was injured. So you might have to consider the fact that those guys still might be kind of loyal to Baker Mayfield. There might be something there, and Deshaun Watson really has some stuff to clear up. He's got to prove to those guys that, first of all, he's worthy of being on their team, in my opinion, because he does have a lot of stuff to clean up. So I don't know if that becomes an every year thing. I think it's a have to do this year for Deshaun Watson, but until like he does it every year, then we can stick with the golf clubs, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a really good take on it, though. Will it be an annual thing like next year? The guys are like, somebody get like some draft pick, right? Gets picked second round by the Browns, and he's like waiting for the summer to come, and he never gets an invite to, like, I mean, we'll say the Bahamas again. Like, what the hell?
I only signed here because I heard we were going to the Bahamas, Deshaun.
What a disappointment. I mean, that's like when you think you're getting the Christmas bonus, but it never comes in.
Hey, I've been there, Brent.
Yeah, you've been there. Try working in this industry for 20-plus years.
Sounds like I'll be there for 20-plus more years, Brent.
Yeah, you will. A couple of things. Dan, that stat boy, we always like when he jumps in, and he said, back when I said the Jags and the Jets were the big game,
mm-hmm.
He said if the Jags are 7-7 going into that game, and the Jets are 3-11, and the Jags lose, I don't think it means squat. And I understand what he's saying there. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think if the Jags are have 7 wins, okay,
mm-hmm.
for 7 wins with 3 remaining, because I think is it the Jets and then like Texans and Titans?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. So if they are 7-7 with 3 games to go, well, hell, I don't think it matters what they do either, because they got the 7 wins and they might get to 8, and that would be freaking a very good year. So I would agree in that context. What's the chances the Jags are 4 games better than the Jets at that time?
Low.
I don't see that. So I'll change the game just like this. If they're 6-8 and the Jets are 4-10, I think it's a pretty big game. Because now the Jags are going to 6-9 and the Jets are going to 5-10, and now there's a 1-game gap, and that's because the Jets beat the Jags.
Yeah, that's
true.
Like,
see what I'm saying? So, like, I understand what Dan's saying there, like, and that's fair. Like, the situation could dictate it. But I even did say, like, in my conversation about that, like, I don't know if the win is as important as what things look like. And so some of the optics of all that will be, okay, how are they doing? But some of the other things, like, could be, if it's, like I said, 38-35 game, and Zach Wilson played awesome, but Trevor Lawrence played awesome, well, that's fine. And maybe the defense makes a play or a running back runs for 60 yards. Like, that had nothing to do with the quarterbacks or something like that. And that's why the Jets win. Or they win on, like, a 52-yard field goal. You know, like whatever it is, if that's the scenario, then I think, to Dan's point, like that's cool. Like it's okay that they didn't win the game. But it's really how they look. And the bottom line is Trevor, for the rest of the time, is going to be compared to Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields. And you can probably, at least in these early stages, throw in the Davis Mills.
100%.
And that is going to happen. And I think, by the way, if there's a little separation between one of those guys, let's just say Justin Fields a little bit better, but Trevor's really good too. And that's the way I view this class. I think 5 of those quarterbacks are going to be good. And if Trevor's in that mix of being good, even if he isn't like heads and shoulders above like everybody thought he was and thinks he is or could be, well, I think that's still okay. He's got to be in the conversation, though. Like, he can't be the 4th best quarterback in this class.
No.
He probably can't be the 3rd best quarterback in this class.
Also, no.
But he definitely can't be 4, and he definitely can't be 5, and he can't be 6. So, again, there's something to that. Like, the Jags will never take heat, in my estimation, for picking Trevor.
No.
Because everybody in football would have picked Trevor.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? Like, this is different. I always say the Jags shouldn't take that much heat for picking Gabbert because at least they were convicted to trade up. They thought they had a guy. They misdiagnosed it or they didn't handle him well. But not everybody in football would have done that. Everybody in football would have picked Trevor Lawrence. Now, in hindsight, you'll have all these people that will come out and say, I would have picked Justin Fields if he ends up being like the Hall of Famer out of the group, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. They wouldn't have. They were all picking Trevor Lawrence. If their job was the GM of any football team, and we're picking quarterback, they were all picking Trevor Lawrence.
Without
question. That is just fact. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think we can ever give the Jags fault for picking him. What we can do is give the Jags fault for what happened last year, not putting enough around him, not putting him in a good situation to be successful, and now not grooming him to be one of the best players in the league. We'll see if the other guys are better and nobody saw it coming. Possibility does exist on that. But I think that Jets game is big to determine at least some of the early race between the Jets, the Jags, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence. All right, that's going to do it. Charlton County, you were fun. Thanks for hanging out with us up here in Southeast Georgia. They get game 1. They're going to go play game 2 right after this. And Charlton County in the Final Four, if they win the next one, they win the best of 3, and they're on to the state championship series. So good luck to the Indians. We'll have some highlights tonight on CBS 47, Fox 30. I'm also heading up the road to Camden County to get a little spring game football. I love their football up here in Southeast Georgia as well. So we give a little love today in Georgia. We got Action Sports Jax OT coming up next. It's Casey Kurtz. It's Brian Middleton. It's on the way when we come back on ESPN 690.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV.
You can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctor's. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
O'Reilly. Improve your gas mileage and save money with Fuel System Cleaner from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for just $10. Plus, earn double O Rewards points and get your next reward even faster. For a clean, lubricated, more efficient fuel system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. NFL officials are slated to meet with Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson this week. The league has been investigating Watson to determine if he violated its personal conduct policy. He's facing 22 civil lawsuits accusing him of inappropriate sexual conduct. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. NBA Celtics guard Marcus Smart dealing with a midfoot sprain, questionable for the East Finals opener against the Heat tomorrow. Meantime, Miami's Kyle Lowry's out with a hamstring strain. Coverage 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. Then on Wednesday, Mavs and Warriors tip off the West Finals. Don't be surprised if Luka Doncic and company knock out Golden State, says Bally Sports Southwest Mavs analyst Derek Harper.
I like the Mavericks, man. I really do. I'm not just being a homer or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a good matchup for Dallas. And right now, if you're not expected to do anything, you do everything. Right? There's no pressure on the Mavericks.
Derek Harper on Barton Hahn. West Finals Game 1 Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Kentucky Derby runner-up Epicenter set today as the 6'5" morning line favorite for Saturday's Preakness Stakes.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you have in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Here we go on a Monday. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. After a good sports weekend, a lot of good stuff to get into. We got the NHL. I done told you people. I done told everybody who listened that the Toronto Maple Leafs were frauds. We'll get into that as we go along. We got good NBA. Brian Middleton's got some things to say to me about my disrespect towards the Dallas Mavericks. Frankly, I earned it. But more so, the Phoenix Suns. Where are y'all at? Y'all didn't even show up. I said that we could beat the 76ers, the five of us. I changed my mind. We could beat last night's Phoenix Suns team. Easy. And I'm talking easy. Easy. No contest. We beat them handily. Not as much as by the Mavericks, but the squad of Marcel Robinson, me, Brian Middleton, Brett Martineau with the GoPro.
I'm not on this squad.
Kuz, we're bringing Kuz as well.
There you go. You got Kusart. Kuz got a little bit of a shot.
Otherwise known as on the radio right now on 95.1 WABE.
Kuz got a little bit of a shot.
We also got 96.9, the Eagles hit morning show person. And when I say hit, I mean he's a hit. Not the show is hit music. It is classic rock. Aaron from the Eagle, right? I'm telling you, we beat last night's Phoenix
I like
Suns
that
team.
5 that you guys got right there. I like that 5.
With you, obviously. We
I'm
got
not,
you on
I'm not
Aiden,
there.
for
I'm
sure.
in the stands.
No, we're
I'm
beating
in the
Suns.
stands.
Anyway,
I'm placing bets on everybody but y'all. If y'all playing the Suns?
Last night's Suns, yeah. That's just disrespectful. We had, what else did we have besides NBA? We had NHL. We had Jags rookie minicamp. I know people were locked into 30-second videos of drills on Twitter.
There you go.
I'm not mad at you for it. I just don't understand it. Had some really good soccer action as well. I understand you probably don't understand that, but I'm just asking you to respect it. Baseball action was good. A lot of good stuff this weekend that we will get into over the next hour. Taking you to 7 o'clock. No Jumbo Shrimp baseball tonight. They are off on Mondays per the usual. Back at it tomorrow against the Durham Bulls, otherwise known as the AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. So a lot of good prospects on the field tomorrow night against the Shrimp and obviously for the Shrimp. Actually, that one tomorrow will be it's a day game. 10:50, right? Look at my calendar.
Yeah, that random 10:50 time.
Yeah, so 10:50
okay.
Down at the stadium. So if you're at work and you want to slide away.
And it's here.
It's here, yeah. They call it a business person special. It's the thing I was telling you about, the hot dog, the beer, the seat. Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll play Durham tomorrow during the day. So if you're trying to slide out of work, go head down to the stadium. But if not, obviously listen to it right here on ESPN 690. Then listen to me and Brent from 3 to 6, or from 3 to 5, I should say. Then listen to me, Brent, and Brian Middleton from 5 to 6, and then me and Brian Middleton from 6 to 7. So that's the operating procedure for the upcoming couple of days right here on ESPN 690. But like I said, good sports weekend, Brian Middleton. The favorite thing you watched this weekend in sports was what?
The favorite thing I watched in sports this weekend was...
Like, what had you locked in the most?
It was definitely something NBA. And I would probably say it was more so the Celtics-Bucks game. But I couldn't turn away, even through the nefarious means that I was watching some of the games. I couldn't turn away from the Suns-Mavericks because I was talking to some...
The blowout game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's why. So I know a lot of Suns fans from my time in Arizona.
That's true.
And I made a semi joke to one of them when I was talking. It was about a couple hours before the game because they gave a nap time in between the 2 game 7s on Sunday.
Because hockey was on, but yes.
Okay, I'm sure they coordinate like that. And
they did. It was on ESPN. I'm dead serious.
I just said I'm sure they coordinate like that.
Yeah, but it was like a joke. Like, I know how you operate.
Okay, so you were inside my mind right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is this. I got off the phone, and as I was getting off of the phone, I was like, hey, you know what? You can go ahead and not even worry about going to the game because they had the ability to go to the game. The tickets were $215 where they were going to go to sit at. But they ended up not going. And I was like, don't even worry about it because the Suns are going to lose by 30. They're going to be down by 30. But I said something like the third quarter or something like that. I did not know. Now, I was being sarcastic then. I did not know that Luka was in on the phone call. I had no idea that Jason Kidd was tapping my cell phone and using that as motivation for the Mavericks because lo and behold, at halftime, they really were up 30. They really were up 30 points at halftime. They were up by more than Phoenix had scored the first 2 quarters. So anyway, I couldn't turn away even though it was a blowout because I just wanted to see Luka smile. I just wanted to see the team from Dallas just be like, just playing at their second home because that's their home. That's their home court now. That's their home court. And just to watch the continual implosion of Devin Booker and Chris Paul and Monty Williams, DeAndre Ayton, just Jay Crowder going to another team that's not going to win a championship. And he was doing all that stuff all season.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I can only imagine what they're doing out there on the Arizona Sports radio, or it's something the family. I can't remember what the main Sun station is out there. I used to listen to it all the time when I was living out there. But I can only imagine what some of the personalities on there were sounding like or are sounding like right now, since they're like 3 hours behind. Anyway, that was probably the most engaging thing. But I did catch a lot of the highlights of some of the hockey games that were going on. Apparently the NHL was just like, we want to watch something exciting, actually watch us play our playoff games.
Yeah, so that's a good segue into what I was locked into the weekend. It was hockey. Hockey was incredible. You had the Rangers, Penguins. That series had everything, man. You had blowouts. You had injury drama. Sidney Crosby missed a game. Penguins are up 3-1. Rangers come back and win the series, go to OT and win an OT last night. It was incredible. Then you had the Flames and the Stars. They go into overtime as well. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey, they call him because it's easier to say than Gaudreau, scores a game winner in OT. They move on to play their rival, the Edmonton Oilers. Like, hockey was so good all weekend. Like, I could not turn away from any of it. I do not care about the Stars at all. Tyler Seguin's cool. Don't care at all. I dislike the Flames from like younger Casey because he disliked the Flames. But honestly, them boys are stacked. They got Gaudreau. They got Tkachuk. They got all these talented guys. It is after midnight last night. They're in the Western Conference, so they cannot possibly play the Lightning until the Stanley Cup final, and I'm locked into this game because it's just that good. And then the Flames end up winning and set up a great series with the Oilers, their arch rival from ever. And I think the hockey was so good. I think it's interesting to hear you say that you were locked into the blowout when literally everybody turned it off. And I have to believe because that Flames Stars game was so good, people maybe the NHL got a new audience because they were like, dang, this game's a blowout. Let me see what's going on with hockey. And that game was back and forth. Now, granted, if you're not a diehard hockey fan, the names I just said you probably don't know in the Tyler Seguin and the Johnny Gaudreaus. But maybe you do know their names now, and that's good for hockey. So I'm telling you, man, I was locked into hockey, and it was so good. So good. There's also good soccer. I was locked into soccer earlier in the day, Man City, West Ham. That was a heck of a game. Heck of a game. So it was just so much good sports on that I really didn't care about the teams. There's only one team I cared about, and that was the Lightning, obviously, and they take care of business. But like I just said, I don't care about the Flames. I don't care about the Stars. I was locked in, man. That Rangers-Penguins series, so good. I don't like either team, and to be honest, I couldn't figure out who I disliked more. Amanda kind of likes the Penguins. She's from Pennsylvania, and her mom's a Penguins fan. So I was trying to pull for the Penguins, but I just can't do it. But I can't really pull for the Rangers either. It was just so good. Such a good weekend in sports, and all the Game 7s just made it that much better. The question is, where are we going to go from here? Like, we just got so spoiled over all kinds of sports this weekend. How are the rest of these games going to live up to it? In the NBA, obviously you have the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, but to be honest, Brian, we'll get into this more in a second, but just on the surface, we could be in for some blowouts. I doubt it, but I think most people would agree the Warriors are better than the Mavericks. Now, granted, I think most people thought the Suns were better than the Mavericks, so there is that. And then on the East side, maybe not as much, but I got to hand it to you. Your Miami Heat are still alive, and they are a 1 seed, and they have the ability to blow teams out. But what I like about the Heat in a weird way is they also have the ability to get blown out. So I'm not – well, what I'm saying is –
I wasn't ready. What was that play? Oh, there we go.
What I'm saying is you never really know what you're going to get. Is that fair?
What?
How? What do you – they've gotten blown out in the playoffs already.
Huh?
You're trying to tell me they haven't? We're not doing anything until you answer. Go ahead.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Casey?
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear skies tonight. Temperatures dropping into the 60s. Partly sunny, hot and humid tomorrow. Just an isolated afternoon storm with highs in the lower 90s. From the CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
Beards Diamonds cuts out the middleman, so you are getting tremendous value.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
If you work remote, Staples has you covered.
A storage cabinet that I can roll out of the way on weekends?
Staples has you covered with stylish and functional home office furniture and decor curated by Staples Work From Home Style Squad. And now, enter the Staples Find Your Work From Home Style sweepstakes to win a home office makeover. Explore solutions for your workspace at Staples. See staplesconnect.com/find-your-WFH style for rules and details. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Open to legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. 18 and older. N67.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to find savings. But you may have more cash than you realize in your home's equity. Unlock it today with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could get all that cash in as little as 3 weeks. Put your hard-earned money to work. Pay down high-interest debt and combine your balances into one simple, low monthly payment. Now is your perfect opportunity to take control of your financial future. So what are you waiting for? When you want to consolidate debt and simplify your finances, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. The Equal Housing Lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out our brand new show, The Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors, right here on ESPN 690 on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. If you like golf, you're going to like this show. The Dream 18 Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690 on a Monday, rolling along. No Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up tonight. Like we said at the top, they will be on in the afternoon hours tomorrow, so you can check that one out right here on ESPN 690. So we will take you until 7 p.m. tonight, then hand off to ESPN programming for the rest of the evening. In terms of the Jags, not a whole lot going on. Like we said, rookie minicamp took place over the weekend. I'm not much for video clips on Twitter of guys doing drills, taking 3 hard steps, and moving on with their life, but some people are. So hopefully you saw what you wanted to see. We had a little conversation earlier on in the show about that with Stuart Weber. They kind of broke it all down. You can go back and watch that on YouTube or on the podcast. Hour 1 is where you're going to want to find that Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts. So did a little bit of that. Also, Brent Martineau caught up with one of the newest Jags drafted 222nd overall pick by the Jags out of Arkansas, Buster Brown. The corner turned safety, then back to corner, and will now be a corner for the Jags, looking to make the team on special teams. So had a conversation with him as well. You can check that out on the podcast. Also, the news of the day, Ethan Waugh officially hired as the assistant GM for the Jags. This was a move that we had kind of heard about before the draft. We asked Trambalke about it. They said it was not done. It is now apparently officially done, as most avenues are reporting on it. So no VP like we kind of thought there would be. Instead, it's an assistant GM that comes after the draft, which does make some sense in terms of, obviously, Trambalke and his staff had done most of the deep dive work, actually all of it, you could fair to say, on this year's draft picks. Obviously, Doug Peterson comes in, has a little bit of say. We don't know how much say. I think everyone kind of differs on that. I feel like Trambalke did most of the work. Doug Peterson kind of signed off on everything. But I think this is the type of draft where if things don't go right, I could see Doug Peterson distancing himself from this draft and say, hey, this was a Trambalke draft. Trambalke can't really make that claim, but they've been here the entire time. But nonetheless, Ethan Waugh will be hired as the assistant GM. Worked with Trambalke in San Francisco, which is obviously an interesting part of this. He was a director of college scouting and football systems for the Niners. That's how he got into his career in the NFL, and worked with Balke from 2011 to 2016. So that is obviously a long time. So he understands the guy, knows the guy. I wonder, obviously, the question will be, did he bring him in to have an ally in the building? Now, we don't necessarily believe that he needs it, right? The draft went okay, right? There's obviously questions about what happened at the number 1 overall pick, but I think the draft went okay. Obviously, he spent a lot of money in free agency, so there is that part of it. Does he really need allies anymore? Because it feels like this fan base, at least me, Brent as well, they've kind of changed their tune on Trambalke. I'm not telling you he's the best GM that's ever lived, because that's obviously not how I feel, but, you know, we'll have to see. So that is the Jags news of the day. Again, not a whole lot coming up, going on right now. OTAs on the horizon for the Jags. So we'll have to wait until that. Get more sound from Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, because most of the team will be there. Not just rookies, but it is off-season activities and not required. So that's what's going on the football front, but that is not the whole story. Obviously, like we mentioned, NBA and NHL are big right now. And listen, now it's time to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. I told you. I tried to tell everybody that Game 6 was a game that the Toronto Maple Leafs had to win. I told you. I told Brian Middleton. I told Brent Martineau. I told everybody that would listen. And what happened? The Toronto Maple Leafs choked it. They choked it away. They go to Game 7 feeling good at home. No. They do not get it done. They lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning. I will say this. If you are a Lightning fan, which I've seen a few on the stream earlier today, appreciate that. But Braden Point hurt in the game, which is a big story. He is probably, I would say, the second most important player to the team. He's one of the few guys, if you know hockey, you understand what I'm saying here, but he's given 110 all the time. When pucks are dumped into the zone, he's down there trying to make a play. He's also one of their best scorers and one of their best passers as well. He was hurt in the game. It looked pretty bad. Being a hockey player, he tried to come back and skate on it. That did not work. He was out on the ice for about 2-3 seconds and then came back in because he could not put weight on it. Sounds like he did not practice today, which is obviously going to be a problem going into the series with the Florida Panthers. So that is the update with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Obviously, Braden Point is an important part of the team. If you don't know the name, you should. Obviously, you know the names of Kucherov, Stamkos, and those guys. But that is going to be a big loss for the Lightning if they want to try to beat the Florida Panthers, who, I stand by my statement, literally have no fans. Brent said he might be going to Game 5 or 6 in Tampa against the Panthers if it gets that far on Memorial Day weekend. I told him, you probably won't have a tough time fighting Florida Panthers fans for tickets because, frankly, they're not looking for tickets because there are no Florida Panthers fans, except Brian Middleton, because their tickets are cheap and he can get on board.
No, that's true.
With the Florida Panthers tickets.
You're right. I can get behind that. $24, $34, $45 for like Game 6 or Game 7s for Florida Panthers. I can't name you one player. Not one. Actually, I think I can. Carter Verhaeghe?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, I can name you one player.
How do you know who that is?
Don't worry about that. Later on, you'll find out. You will find out later on.
Okay.
Yeah. But besides that, I can't name you one other player on the Panthers, but their ticket prices are for the people. They're the people's team. There was this wrestler called The Rock. You may have heard of him. I think he acts or something like that. His name was like Dwayne Johnson, something like that. But he was always called the people's champ. And that's what I feel the Florida Panthers are for the ticket prices that they have. They're the people's team of the NHL. Cheap ticket prices. My squad.
You know, Carter Verhaeghe was played for the Lightning before. I don't know how you know who that is, but anyway, he was on the Lightning before, and then they shipped him out to Florida. And another
embarrassment of riches.
Pretty much. Wow. That's kind of how it worked. You had to pay guys, and you didn't have time for Verhaeghe. It's happened a lot. Jonathan Marchessault is a guy that was sent to Florida, which you don't know who that is because he's not on Florida anymore. He now plays for Vegas, and he's like their best player. But yeah, the Lightning have strongly helped a bunch of other teams with similar moves like that. So, by the way, Game 1, I saw this on Twitter. Game 1 is in Florida, I believe is what it is. And it's either 3 and 4 or 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure it's 1 and 2 are in Florida. Yeah, they're the higher seed. So games 1 and 2 are in Florida, which for this term is in Sunrise, not Tampa. And the tickets were like $51 or $57 and $61. Like those are the cheapest tickets.
Well, we're another round into the playoffs. So, okay. All right, getting a little iffy. That's a little shaky.
I imagine that's going to be fascinating when it gets on TV because there's going to be so many Lightning fans and there's going to be like 0 Panthers fans. They're going to be like, what? Like it's going to look so weird on TV, I think, because Lightning fans are going to travel. So that's kind of how I see that playing out. But I wasn't going to go much farther in the show without giving some love to the Lightning because the boys got it done against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So a lot of good hockey still to go, and then obviously some good basketball.
Well, I will say this. The people love the way that you're giving love to the Lightning, but they wish that you would give love to the Dallas Mavericks. All I'm saying is I would love it if you gave the Dallas Mavericks a bit of love as well. But I totally get it. Totally understand why you love the Lightning so much, Casey Kurtz. Totally love the reason that you're behind your team. But when we get back from the break, because I'm about to play this music, I feel like you should at least address the energy with which you were down talking the Dallas Mavericks, the city of Dallas, the state of Texas, Tex-Mex cuisine, Luka Doncic, Jason Kidd, and everybody else. You think you're going to be able to do that?
Yeah, I can do that. On the other side of the break, Action Sports Jax, Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom-blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Acura models. Get insanely low lease payments and huge financing deals on award-winning luxury sedans and SUVs. Now's the time. Shop FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
This is Paul Gray, founder of Gray Matter Distillery, inviting you to check out the new home of Jacksonville's first craft distillery in beautiful Atlantic Beach. Since 2014, we have been the proud distillers of such iconic local spirits as Carr Vodka and Live Oak Whiskey. In our new distillery, you can enjoy one of our handcrafted cocktails made using only the freshest ingredients for only $8 a drink. Enjoy a cocktail, sample small batches of vodka or whiskey, or take a bottle home. Pick up your very own Gray Matter Distillery shot glass for free when you mention this ad. Come see us this weekend, and remember to please drink responsibly.
Snyderman, can you jump really high? Can you turn invisible?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Then no.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
If your AC is running but not cooling, making loud noises, or your home's too humid, now you can schedule an appointment online at SnyderAC.com.
You're my hero, Snyderman. CAC 1813307.
Action News Jax at 5. Action, because it's live with investigators Emily Turner and Ben Becker knocking on doors, holding people accountable. News, because it's happening now. John Bachman and Tanika Hughes breaking the big important stories of the day. Jax, because it's super local. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burridge has the most accurate local forecast. Action News Jax at 5 is local coverage you can count on.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, business owners, if you are one of the 2.5 million small businesses in Florida, you know that the outside of your business is the first chance your company has to make an impression. And if you have the fading or peeling paint, you may discourage customers and block potential revenue. Whether you have stucco, brick, vinyl siding, or paint, then Rhino Shield is the perfect solution. We have been helping our commercial clients for over 20 years, and with hundreds of projects completed, we have become known as the company to call when your business needs a facelift. Rhino Shield is a permanent ceramic coating that is a superior alternative to paint and comes in any color. Call Rhino Shield today, 904-519-5055, or visit us online. The bottom line with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're giving away $1,000 5 times every weekday in the ESPN 690 Payroll Payout. Listen live weekdays at 8 a.m., 10, noon, 2, and 5 p.m. for your chance to win. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. Get the complete rules now at ESPN690.com.
So they apparently had to make a rule change in the USFL. Like, I know you don't watch that, right? You're not on the USFL.
Okay, I'm dying to hear what this rule change is.
Yeah, like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, it just kind of popped up. It's from this weekend, but it just caught me off guard so much that why are they changing the rules in the USFL? Does anybody care? So I guess Jeff Fisher, head coach of the Michigan Panthers, former head coach of the Tennessee Titans, you see how people fall from grace, wanted to go for a 1-point extra point. Then they placed the ball. Okay, so they agreed. Then Coach Fisher called a timeout and instead wanted to go for a 2-point try. And the officials told him no. Once the ball is placed on the field, you cannot change your decision.
Ooh.
Which sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
Right, well,
I don't think I've ever thought about that, number one.
You just had to move it back a yard.
Yeah.
You just literally had to back up 1 yard and put the ball down. So now, starting in week 5, the USFL has agreed to change that rule.
Wow.
That's so dumb. Like, why they had to put out a Facebook post because of that. And it got 3.5 thousand likes. There's no way 3.5 thousand people give a crap about the USFL. Agree or disagree?
Maybe family members. There's a lot of
the
football
players. Yeah, that's true.
USFL, family and friends.
That's true. Okay. Well, shout out to the USFL. I don't feel bad about what I just said about the USFL. So they're changing the rules to actually make it feel more like football. Great.
Now, do you like that? Because my initial thought when you said it, I was like, see, this is why it's not that you're a fraud league, but this is why, you're like almost like a bubblegum version of whatever you're trying to be for the NFL. But now I think I kind of like the fact that, all right, they saw something that didn't make sense, and they were able to just say, okay, we're going to make that change in the season. It's not fair to the teams that wanted to do it prior to week 5.
Yeah.
But, they were able to be reactionary in a way that will benefit all the teams moving forward. The NFL, that's not happening. That's that kind of that kind of reaction in the middle of a season. And I guess I get why you don't want to change rules, even something like that, in the middle of a season. But I think I might kind of like it now that I'm thinking about it and thinking through it a bit more. Do you think that's good? Do you think the NFL could ever take that kind of energy for stuff that's happening in the league?
I mean, they kind of changed the rule with the pass interference. They let you review it, and then they said, nah, we're changing that back. I just don't – I guess I'm not answering your question, but I just want to drive home the fact that they're changing a rule that should have already been a rule in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I call a timeout and I want to change the play, we've seen that in the NFL. You score a touchdown, call a timeout, go for 2. Since when does that not? I don't understand how that wasn't allowed. But by the way, this person named Alan commented on the post and said, I can't imagine anything worse than staying inside on a beautiful May afternoon or evening to watch minor league football coached by Jeff Fisher.
So petty.
Oh, that's so good. So anyway, the USFL is changing their rules as they go to rules that probably should have already been in place before it started. I know we got something to do, Brian, but I do want to work this in. Chase from WOKV just tweeted me something.
Okay.
He said also Panthers attendance will likely be down since all Panthers games will be on the same day as the Heat.
Ooh.
Now, Chase, I agree with you. And Chase, I'm pretty sure you're a Lightning fan. But, so first of all, shout out to you. But, second off, I don't think anybody's going either way. The Heat have real fans, and the Panthers have no fans.
One fan.
One literal fan, and he's a Heat fan. So he's going to go to the Heat game. You know what I mean?
Point, my man. How didn't I get that point?
So I hear what you're saying, but I think if I'm the Panthers, I'm going to spin it as what you said. We sold a lot of tickets to Lightning fans because all of our fans were at the Heat game. The truth is there are no Panthers fans. Show me one that's not Brian Middleton. And Chase, if you happen to be a Tampa sports fan and also a Florida Panthers fan and not a Lightning fan, then I'm sorry I keep driving this home on your team. But in general, just the Panthers are great and have no fans but Brian. It's kind of funny. But anyway, I saw your tweet. I wanted to address that. So that's where we are on the fan conversation as well as the USFL. By the way, Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. All right, Brian, what do we got?
Start bench remove, Casey Kurtz.
Let's do it. I don't need the rules.
You don't? Okay. You remember that you have a pass. Okay.
Yeah, I do have a pass. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably use it if you bring up Dallas Sports or something.
Oh, Dallas Sports. Okay. All right. First up, cornerstone of the franchise. Love this topic.
Sure.
All right. Steph, Luka, Giannis.
Why not? Start Steph, because, they were nothing without Steph. And then, yeah, we'll do it. Bench Giannis, remove Luka.
Huh?
Yeah, It didn't really feel right saying it. It sounded better in my head. But here's why I did it. You're gonna make some noise or something. But Steph, cornerstone, they drafted him, they won. Giannis, they drafted him, cornerstone, they won. So Luka, they drafted him, cornerstone, agree. They have not won a championship yet. They may this year. They might beat Steph and he might become a champion. But I'm going with the two champions that have become the star of the team, the cornerstone of the team. So that's why I went with those two instead of Luka. Not that you care, but.
You know what, Casey Kurtz? That actually made some sense. Now, I disagree with you.
I know.
But that actually made sense.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next up.
What we got?
It's my month.
Sure.
Okay, Casey, this is the month you wish never happened, as well as any and all events that happened in that month that can't be moved to another month and are thus forgotten forever. Okay.
Okay.
January, March, December.
January, March, December. Okay, something definitely happened in January that I'm not thinking of because you wouldn't have put it on here. March feels like a safe one to get rid of. I like St. Patrick's Day. Spring break is cool.
Anything else happened in March, Casey Kurtz?
See, I'm scared now, right? Because I don't know off the top of my head.
You may have traveled with a group of people to... Okay, yeah. See, that's me looking out for you.
Okay, good call. Yeah, March 6th is a good day for sure. I can't get rid of December because I know what that's going to bring. All right, we'll start March because I have to. We'll bench December, and we'll get rid of January. I don't know what what did I do? What's in January that I'm not thinking of?
It was just a man that had a dream.
Yeah, I know.
That's had a dream.
That's not even what I was thinking of. Shoot.
Yeah. I think his name started with Martin. I think that was his first name. Martin King.
Yeah.
I think he was a junior. But that's okay. Casey, you know, this First Amendment, free speech. You get to say what you want to say. Next up, offensive threat.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. This is which Jags player you wish wasn't on the Jags every week, Casey. And for that matter, you wish they weren't even in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, James Robinson, Travis Etienne.
Start Trevor, obviously.
Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that, Casey. I hear the
Yeah, you know. I'm going to bench James, and I'm going to have to get rid of Etienne.
All right. You know what? We'll go to something that's a little bit easier.
All right.
Because I'm roasting you right now. Contact Kings.
Sure.
All right.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah. Manny Machado.
Okay.
Eric Hosmer. Sure, I chopped that name up.
No, that's right.
Xander Bogaerts.
All three of those are right.
Wow.
And I'm just to confirm, I'm giving you the best option to start, right?
Yeah, in the one that is the one that you hope never actually gets into the MLB. In an alternate universe, of course. But yeah, the best option.
Yeah, Xander's really good. I'm going to start Xander, even though I'm not a Red Sox fan. That's character development. Oh, goodness. I will bench Machado, and I will remove Hosmer because I like Hosmer. But these numbers, like if you're just looking up the numbers with Hosmer, this has not been his MO. Like he was a guy, he was very good for a long time in Kansas City. He was not this good. And last year, all offseason, they tried to get rid of him, okay? So they were trying to remove him harder than I was. He's not going to hit 350 this year. That's not what he is. He's a 279 hitter in his career. Having a great year. And I'm happy for the guy because I like him. But those other two guys have done it for a longer period of time, and I think Bogaerts is that dude. Machado was that dude. He's not even that old, but Bogaerts is that dude, and I think he's going to continue to be, and I like Manny, so I have to get rid of Hosmer, unfortunately.
All right. Next up, back in time, Casey.
Sure.
All right, this is the topic where you remove one of these from the face of the earth, sets the world back 35, 40, maybe 2,000 years, okay?
Are we doing teeth brushing again?
No. That was in the necessities one. Yeah, you hear necessities, you want to skip that, okay?
Okay.
So, first up, internal combustion engine, the wheel, or the light bulb?
What was the first one?
Internal combustion engine.
Is that like a car engine?
It's the predecessor to it. Like, this didn't happen then.
So we wouldn't have cars without this?
Or probably like planes and ships that actually have
the
motors.
Wheel.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. What have we really gained from the wheel? Besides, like I know the obvious stuff, but, like, is there stuff I'm missing?
That's so great.
Like, you know, the wheel is good, but, like, somebody would have thought of the wheel eventually. And then light bulb, we got no choice. We need light bulbs, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of the wheel. I don't know why, but I'll start light bulbs I'll bench the motor thing, and then I will get rid of the wheel.
Just so that you're clear, the wheel was first basically invented 4th millennium BC.
Yeah.
That's where you're taking us, Casey. So we got an engine to put in the car, but, actually making the car move.
Right.
Casey Kurtz.
Yeah. I thought it was smarter to get the engine than the wheel. I think I don't know. I don't know why, though. Maybe that was stupid.
One with the puck.
Sure.
All right. Former number 1 overall pick for Edmonton, Connor McDavid. The Panthers, Carter Verhaeghe. Or the sweetest sensation coming out of New York, Mika Zibanejad. Close enough.
You can just start McDavid and get rid of the other two, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Okay. My bad.
I mean,
this is what I don't know about NHL.
I like Carter Verhaeghe. He's fine. Like, he caught fire. But Connor McDavid's the best player on the planet Earth. And probably and I'll go into this rabbit hole again. He's better than probably any other planet that has people playing hockey in any other Milky Way galaxy. Remember when I went into that one time? I'm doing it again. Connor McDavid's better than all of them. So it's not even close, and I feel like it's disrespectful to Connor McDavid to put him in the same category.
Who's better at this sport, Connor McDavid or Mike Trout? Because you're very high on Mike Trout.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think, I'm be honest with you, I think what Connor McDavid can do is when he's on, right? In those last couple games for Edmonton, he's been on the forecheck. He's been passing. He's been scoring goals when there's nothing available. I think he's just, when he's on, he's so far and away better than everybody, in my opinion. Mike Trout, you can at least make the argument. I disagree with the arguments, but you can argue that there's better players in the league currently than Mike Trout. I disagree with them again, but you can't make that conversation with McDavid, in my opinion. So I guess I'm going to go with McDavid.
All right. Final one, Casey.
Okay.
Casey's favorites. Don't pass this. Don't pass this.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. Here we go. Friday night high school football. Donating to charity. Chick-fil-A has a restaurant and organization that employs approximately 36,000 people.
Thank you. I'm probably, I got no shame. I'm gonna start Chick-fil-A.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna start Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna bench the charity thing, and then I'm gonna have to get rid of football.
Thank goodness. Just for clarity, approximately 1 million kids a year play high school football. So
yeah, that is unfortunate. But the good news, if it were removed, there's plenty of other sports. Try hockey, baseball, maybe tennis, soccer, pickleball, probably now, badminton potentially, volleyball now a boys' sport, which is exciting. I would have played it if I had the opportunity.
Did you say now? Okay.
It is. It's now. I'm serious. It's now a sport for in school for boys. I'm serious. Like when I was in high school, you couldn't play. Did your high school have a? Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
like it's a real.
Bad.
It's like a.
Right. I got you.
I just broke this. You're watching on the stream.
All types of stuff happening today.
Yeah. So that's what I would have to do. Unfortunately, you have to go find another sport to play, kids. Sorry about it. But I'm probably saving you potential horrible injuries. So
that's fair.
In a weird way, you should be thanking me.
Yeah. Send them an invoice. All right, Casey, that's all we got for Start Bench. Removed from the face of the earth.
Very good. After this break, we got more to do. Stick with us. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
You don't have to be an unbelievable golfer to have a favorite round of golf. Your Dream 18. Maybe it's the people you were with, the place you played, the situation you were in. Give us your Dream 18 at #Dream18 and tune in Wednesdays to a new show, The Dream 18 Show, 2 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
I don't
know about you, but I'm ready for some sunshine, good vibes, and summertime fun. You too? Well, have I got great news. Summer starts here. Where? At the Summer Starts Here event going on now at Arlington Toyota. What can you expect during the Summer Starts Here event at Arlington? How about hot savings on all new Toyotas, including financing as low as 1.9% on 10 new Toyota models. Plus, Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available. Start your summer fun with hot savings at the Summer Starts Here event going on now. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Summer Starts Here for details.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
You're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey everybody, it's Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690, couple minutes to go on a Monday as we roll along. No Jumbo Shrimp baseball tonight. They are on the road, or they are off on Mondays. They'll be back at home tomorrow against Durham in the afternoon time. So check it out on ESPN 690. Then me and Brent, then me and Brian, and then another night on ESPN 690. Jumbo Shrimp back in prime time on Wednesday. So we will have that for you whenever it gets going. Should be a 6:50 first start for pregame, I do believe, on Wednesday. But we'll keep you updated on that as we roll along. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz on a Monday, Action Sports Jax Overtime. We got something that I'm forgetting, Brian. I know you sent me the rundown. We're going to produce on the fly. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, but before we get into that, because I know we only got a couple of minutes.
Oh, you need me to talk about Dallas?
No. As a man, I'm going to let you, reconcile that when you want to. Publicly, though.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, I am 24 hours away from actually getting my passport, Casey Kurtz. I'm excited about this. I know last time we talked about it, and I was you were a bit critical of me because I didn't have a place to go. Still don't have a place to go. But at least I think I have all the proper documentation this time. We hope.
What was the problem last time? Remind me.
So apparently there weren't the correct signatures on the birth certificate. That's a scary thing to hear. Number one.
Shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember that part.
Call Maury up in here. Nah. Yeah, but I ordered the right thing from the state of South Carolina, DHEC.
Oh, yeah.
And it came in. So I got a 1:15 appointment with the passport office. And,
So you're going to go see your guy that told you to come back, right? That was the story?
Yeah. He's there. I'm not talking to the lady. If you remember, the lady was real straight disrespectful to me.
I remember that.
And I was like, do you know who I am? I'm one half of Action Sports Jax Overtime. Huh? I know Casey Lamont. Don't make, man, what? What?
I'm sure that would get you far.
Yeah, and she told me to sit down.
I bet she did. I would try Brent Martineau next time. I'm telling you, I've never been anywhere with Brent Martineau where they haven't said, hey, you're the guy from TV, or hey, you're the guy from radio. Like literally every time. We went to McDonald's at like 9:30 at night. They were like, I seen you on TV. I was like, I'm here too.
So Brent is a celebrity.
Chicken. Yeah, he's been telling me that he carries around a Sharpie to sign autographs. I think it's cap. I hope it's cap. Oh, I know. Isn't it humble? Okay, good. Passport. If you're just confused on that, Brian Middleton a couple weeks ago tried to get his passport. Again, as he mentioned there in passing, but I'll drive home the point, he has nowhere to go, no trips planned, and he's a planner, as he said. That's why he's getting his passport, just in case. So no trips planned, but getting the passport, going back for round 2 after he did not get it the first time. Yeah. So that's the passport update. 24. Wait, what time are you getting your passport?
Well, the appointment's at 1:15.
Okay, cool.
So all I got to do is pay the $200.
It's $200 for a passport?
Yeah, you got to get like well, you don't have to get both, but you get like a book and a card and something like that.
Yeah, I have the card.
Oh, okay. So if you just get the card, it's cheaper, or the book, it's cheaper, but I'm just getting both. Feels like I need to get both. It feels like I need to get both.
Why in the world would you get both?
No, I don't want to get stuck in a place and they're like, hey, we don't take the book. We need the card.
Nobody doesn't take the book.
Feels like somebody doesn't take the book that I want to go to.
No, everybody takes the book. It's the card. Like, I only have the card, and I'm going somewhere next week. And all the places
Okay, my G. That's right.
It's on the calendar.
That's right. My bad. Okay.
And I only need the card because it's only like the Caribbean or whatnot. So, but the book, you can go anywhere with the book. You do not need, you're literally wasting money. You are wasting money getting both. But that's not going to stop you. I know.
Feel prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Very good. Well,
Boy Scout.
Were you really?
I was a Cub Scout.
Okay. Yeah. I was in the Boy Scouts for one day and then I quit. I'm serious. It's a real life story.
I got like 6 or 7 months in.
I just couldn't do it. Like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Right? We're not going to talk about sports the rest of the show.
Clearly not.
Which is only a couple of minutes. So, like, if you're dying for sports in the next 2 minutes, you know where to go. But listen, I had a difficult time, this is real life, folks, tying my shoes. Okay? I could not tie my shoes for a very, very long time. Like, longer than you should, right? And the Boy Scouts, you had to, like, tie knots and stuff. I wasn't going to be doing that, right? So I saw the writing on the wall. Like, hold on. If you're on the stream, look. You see any shoelaces?
Wow.
Nope.
Commitment.
I can tie my shoe. Like, if you put a shoe right here, I could tie it.
We haven't seen it.
You haven't. That's fair. But these are the shoes I wear. No things. So the point of that story is the Boy Scouts are like tying knots, and I just wasn't about that. And then also, like, it just felt, I didn't feel at home with the Boy Scouts, you know? I was more of an athlete.
There you go.
Not that the Boy Scouts weren't athletes. I'm backing myself into a corner.
You're throwing high heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you don't got time to get your patches or whatnot.
The truth is, I just I didn't fit in with the Boy Scouts. So,
man, I was working my way up. I was Cub Scout. Then I had the Wolf, and then I was the Weeblo. Will be loyal Scouts. Boy, it took me forever. Weeblo.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's like, I think the next step right before your Boy Scout stuff you got to do. And then I forgot what happened. You know, I don't know, home life was in shambles. I have no idea why I didn't get to the Boy Scouts. But I was in there for about 6 or 7 months, man. Had the whole fit, got pictures. I was wheeling down woods.
You should really bring those pictures in. By the way, this might surprise you. There are 395,000 adults in Cub Scouts.
Wow.
1.4 million youth. So, like, you can continue to be like an adult Cub Scout. There's also 43,000 packs.
Yeah.
What's a pack?
Yeah, I can't quite remember. Like the troop, I can't remember,
yeah,
man.
It feels like, because, like, you know, like, I guess, like, Cub, like,
yeah,
whatever. They travel in packs. That's the point of the story. All right, so what you've learned here, Brian Middleton, former scout, Casey Kurtz, never a scout. Only for one day. That's all the time we got on OT. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Never paint your house again.